Live from Tad Gormley Stadium in City Park in New Orleans, Crescent City Sports is once again proud to bring you high school football as we begin another season of live and free high school sports coverage here on Crescent City Sports. Tonight, non-district matchup, Baton Rouge meets New Orleans as the Madison Prep Chargers, the third-ranked team in the Crescent City Sports Class 3A rankings, take on the Brother Martin Crusaders, the number 6 team in our Class 5A rankings. Hi again, everybody. Lenny Van Gilder, pleased to be joined tonight by former Brother Martin quarterback Chad LaRose, Chip Merritt, and Matt Merritt, bringing you all of the pictures this evening as we get ready for another season of football. And Chad, week 1 is a lot of fun. Everybody's 0-0. You've got anticipation all year long. Everybody, of course, finishes the previous season differently, but depending on how you finish leads up to the anticipation of what you've got coming into week 1. And, of course, with Brother Martin, you're talking about a team that reached the state championship game for the first time in 33 years when you were behind center back in 1989. And so, obviously, there's a lot more anticipation for this football season maybe than there has been in years past on Elysian Fields.
Very true. The Crusaders have been in the semifinals, I want to say 4 or 5 times in the last 6-7 years when, we're doing the games on the radio. And to get to the Dome, to finally get through that barrier, I mean, Crusader Nation was ecstatic. And, we're looking for a lot. We got a young quarterback that's coming back. We're pretty good offensive and defensive linemen, so Mark's got a lot to build on this year. The team is solid. I got to look at the stats, but I think Coach Bonice, has he been at Brother Martin for 20 years now?
Well, he's an assistant. 15 as a head coach, where he's won 106 games. So, and look, the continuity's big. Now,
right.
He's got to replace some guys from a year ago, but it will be interesting to see how this all plays out beginning tonight. Facing a Madison Prep team. These two teams met in week 1 a year ago. Brother Martin won the game by the score of 17-0. Madison Prep, like Brother Martin, has its quarterback back in Tylen Johnson, who threw for 2,200 yards and 21 touchdowns, rushed for another 300 yards and 4 touchdowns last year. So experience behind center for both of these teams. And, of course, Seth DeZette took over in week 9 for Brother Martin a year ago, started the final 2 regular season games and then throughout the playoffs. And look, just like the excitement that you see at LSU and at Tulane, while they're coming off successful seasons, a lot of what you get excited about is the fact that you've got your starting quarterback back, and both of these teams do as well. And that, somebody who played that position, that experience matters a lot when you go into a new season. Very
much so, Lenny. And look, it brings me back to my senior year. We opened up the year against John Ehret. They had a pretty good quarterback, Cordell Stewart, who played for Ehret, and that was pretty much a track meet. And great game. It kind of led us into the season of, hey, this is, Brother Martin's not shying away from good teams opening game. So I expect a very similar, high-performing game tonight.
So Brother Martin has taken the field. Madison Prep going to in a matter of moments. And, one of the things with you look at numbers, you look at these rosters. Brother Martin's got over 100 players on, in their program. Madison Prep's numbers a lot less than that, and they're going to have some guys play both ways. For that matter, Brother Martin will as well. With the heat that we have encountered in August this year, probably the hottest August on record, how does that affect preparation in terms of as you get ready for a season?
It's going to affect them a lot, and the Coach Bonice knows that. Now, it's a little different now, Lenny, because they have water breaks now, and we never had that during the game. But, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how this Madison team looks in the second half as opposed to the first half. We know they're going to be excited. We know they're going to be fresh. But, Coach Bonice, he's not shying away from running the ball on the opening drive 5, 6, 7, 8 times to get those big guys running side to side, wearing those legs out, knowing that's going to pay dividends in the second half.
No doubt about it. So Brother Martin and Madison Prep, our opener here on this first Thursday night of the high school football season in Louisiana. Let me mention right off the bat that it's the first of 2 this weekend on Crescent City Sports. Tomorrow night, it'll be Ken Berthelot and Wade Kaiser live at Bobby Nuss Stadium in Chalmette. Archbishop Hannon against Chalmette in that one. So
Hannon's going back to the parish,
Hannon is going back to the parish again.
I remember that. I remember when they were there.
In fact, Corey Bordelon, the head coach at Hannon, was the head coach at Hannon when Hurricane Katrina hit, but he's back there now.
That's going to be a good turnout.
It should be a lot of fun as we get set for this one. I believe we're about to see the color guard head out towards the center of the field here, and we will have our national anthem coming up here momentarily from Tad Gormley Stadium. You played all your home games here, Chad, and this is kind of the home of football in New Orleans, and you want to see a big high school football game. You come here on a Thursday or Friday or Saturday night, chances are you're going to see it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, every team in the city that aspires to play high school football, they want to play here, and this is where the action is. This is where the big games are.
And New Orleans is unique in that regard. You go to some other places, obviously people have stadiums on their campus and things like that. As landlocked as New Orleans is, it's a different situation here as the color guard is making its way now towards the center of the field. We're going to pause. We'll have invocation followed by our national anthem here from Tad Gormley Stadium in New Orleans.
Which is commanded by Cadet Ensign Tony Galbraith. Other members include Cadets Reese Rucci, Neil Burke, Graham Jacobson, Jackson Whitemore. The Brother Martin NJROTC was under the guidance of Commander Bruce Nolan. That's in 1990, U.S.
Thank you.
retired and senior chief officer Rico Fall. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God, our Creator. We ask you to bless all who are gathered here this evening for this athletic competition. Please give the athletes the grace of good sportsmanship and shield them from injury in tonight's game. We ask you in a special way to be with the athletes, coaches, managers, medical staffs, officials, musicians, and cheerleaders who have worked to perfect their talents for our enjoyment and your glory. We thank you for their gifts and dedication to our school community. We ask through the intercession of Our Lady of Prompt Succor for your continued blessings on New Orleans and the entire Gulf Coast. Please protect our school communities and cities from harm and property damage during this hurricane season. Protect us and our homes from all disasters of nature. We ask all of this in confidence, mindful of your presence with us this evening, through the heart of Jesus Christ our Lord. Mater Cor Jesu, Mater Cor Maria. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
'29.
Our national anthem on a nice night here for football in New Orleans. I'd say it's a little bit of a relief from what we've seen heat-wise here, Chad, in terms of the weather. You know, you saw some of those highs dipping up into the hundreds as recently as a few days ago, and you're worried about how that might impact things, football-wise. And thankfully, it's been fairly nice here the last couple of days. So
when you're looking at the temperature gauge and it's 90 and you're happy about that, that's not good.
Yeah, but
I'll take it.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, waiting for the captains to head out to the center of the field. Brother Martin's going to send out just one captain, Brian Vlasic. 3 captains heading out there for Madison Prep. Hezekiah Dantzler in the middle. We'll call his name a bunch tonight. He's listed as an athlete. He's going to play both ways. So we'll see a lot of him this evening on both offense and defense. Madison Prep, the visitors will call it in the air. And they've won the toss and deferred. So Brother Martin is going to get the football to start this game. And we'll get an early look at the junior Seth Dezette. And what did you see from Seth in the second half of the season last year that impressed you most, Chad?
Man, when we called the Karen Crow game, he kind of came in and he did not look at all like a sophomore who's never played a snap or, that year. He looked like a returning quarterback. He looked experienced. He had command of the huddle. And he threw a strike to Leonardo for a touchdown that game. That was, it looked like it could have gone through a keyhole in a door. He put it right between the numbers, and he stepped up. Now, unfortunately for the state championship game, looked like he had a little deer in the headlights. But when you're playing against Curtis,
you're playing against Curtis, and you're playing in the Superdome. Remember, none of these kids, when you were
I had
playing,
deer in the headlights.
No doubt. But there were games in the Superdome at that point, and now there aren't any. So
but that
the goal is to get there. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
no,
but we're gonna see him benefit from that experience. By Mark putting him in the second half of last year. We'll everybody's looking forward to seeing him play this year.
We'll get an early look at him here as we get set for football. And kicking it away for the Chargers will be Nicholas Spears. Off and running with another football season, and a short kick is taken. Coming back to the near side here and out past the 35 to about the 37-yard line. That was Camden Burris. We're talking about guys playing 2 ways. He's on special teams as well, so he's going to play 3 ways. We'll see him some at wide receiver. We'll see him some at safety tonight.
Yeah, good for him. Mark's carrying, like you said, Lenny, way over, 50, 60 people on the team. So for somebody to go both ways, you got to be special.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, especially in this, with the Heat. He's not going to play every snap. Depending on how much he plays on offense, will dictate what he does on defense. So Brother Martin will open with a sidecar, and that is Jordan West to this side for about 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, and I don't see Coach Bonise changing the offense at all on this, Lenny, because, it's pretty much set the offensive line. They know all the calls. Dezette has been comfortable with running the offense. They're going non-huddle right now. He's calling audibles right from the line. He's very comfortable with running this offense.
We good. Stay green.
From the 42, pass out in the flat. First completion of the night's going to go to Brody DeMonche, the sophomore who caught 6 passes as a freshman, one of 2 receivers who saw quite a bit of action last year, who's back in there this year. He's about a yard short of the first down.
Graduated with his dad, Brett. Obviously, his son has way more talent than Brett, but yeah, that was a nice little rink, a little play action going left, and then hitting DeMonche on the right side in the flat for a nice little gain.
3rd and 1. It's West, falls forward, nice job, stays low, and West is a little guy at 5'8", 164 pounds, but he's tough and can get those yards inside and does it there for 5 and a first down, and Brother Martin will again go without the huddle.
They're not scared running inside zone with them either. They like running between those tackles.
So 1st and 10 across the 50 now at the Madison Prep 49. Once again, give it away, or check that, play action, and a sack. That is Teron Cage, I believe. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Cage, the senior defensive end, 6'3", 235 pounds, on the sack, a loss of 5.
So I know Coach Bonice likes the run-pass option. That wasn't a run-pass option because he should have handed the ball off to West, and he would have got positive yards. But Madison did a good job of covering up the quarterback.
On 2nd and 15, this time West does get the carry. Not much room between the tackles right there, and the Crusaders are going to face 3rd down and 13 at the 48.
Yeah, this is a down and distance that coaches really don't want to see too much. We almost flipping the field right here, but Brother Martin's definitely want to get about half of this yardage back before they can decide if they want to go for it on 4th down
exactly.
or not.
You probably want to get to at least 2 or 3 yards to go if you're going to do this. So 3rd and 13, line to make is the Madison Prep 39. Dezette will roll, nowhere to go, and he is brought sack. Down. Yeah, nowhere to go. Looked like Torrey Baptiste was the first guy in there in the backfield, the senior linebacker.
He was looking for Brody DeMonche. It looked like it was spread. It was a spread formation, trips to the left, but they ran kind of like a flood to the right side. But good job from Madisonville. Madison, it looked like it was a coverage sack all the way.
So on 4th and 17, the Crusaders will send on the punting unit. Grayson Smith is handling those duties this year. A couple of good kickers graduated a year ago. And a fair catch is called for.
Ooh.
That ball come out? I think it did, and I think Brother Martin's got the football. Let's wait for a signal. It is Crusader ball at the 27-yard line. Was a short kick by Grayson Smith. And look,
those are some of the jitters we see in the first game of the season. You know, the special teams hadn't been out there, and you know, having that low wobbly kick, he looked like he kind of dove for it at the last inning, kind of lost perception of it.
One of those things where you got to probably, if you can't get to it, you got to peel out of there. Even if you lose 10, 15 yards of field position, you've still got the football. Now, Brother Martin at the 8:50 mark gets the football back here in very good position at the 27-yard line of Madison Prep.
So they're going back to that spread, 4 wide receivers.
Yep, 3 to the top, and that was a little bit off schedule in the backfield there, but good effort by West to continue churning his legs and manage to get 3 yards out of that.
Yeah, so I think what Mark wants to do here, he just wants to spread those outside linebackers out with that spread offense formation, and he's just going to look. You know, Dezette's going to say, hey, are they 7, 8 guys in the box, or if there is, I'm going to start throwing it to the outside.
And there's movement on the looked like the wingman flinched there a little bit. Yeah, Peyton Michelle, the senior wide receiver, was in the slot. Check that, it's offside. So there was movement up front as well. We saw Michelle move at the top of your screen, but there was movement inside as well, and that's the call. It's going to be offside against Madison Prep. So now, instead of maybe second and 12, now it's second and 2.
That's actually not a bad penalty because it looks like Madison is in a coverage right here that's not conducive to trips.
So 2nd and 2, give it away. Got a new back in the game here, and that is Sidney Harris Jr. on the carry. He will get it inside the 15 to about the 14 and a first down.
Yeah, Madison's going to have to look at this because if they keep having 8 in the box like that, even with the trips wide receiver, Brody's out there on the flat wide open right now. He could have caught the ball and walked it in. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mark starts throwing it a little bit if they keep a tight formation.
Well, 2 tight ends in there right now, 2 receivers to the bottom. Give it away to Harris, trying to get to the edge, and nice job by Madison Prep. The penetration when you see those sweep plays, obviously you want to turn it back inside, and that's what they were able to do. And Harris gets about a yard. It's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, with these big offensive linemen, you know, Brother Martin's bread and butter is in between the tackles, the cutbacks. You know, Lambert did a great job last year of cutting back off of the inside zones, the counter trays, and really that's where he made his money.
Yeah, Torrey Lambert was a guy who rushed for 1,800 yards last year in 12 games. Play action, had a man down the seam, and the tight end, Nico Paulin, could not haul it in. It's going to be 3rd down.
You're going to start seeing a lot of that play action because those linebackers are biting. They want it. They want to get that running back. They want to get West on the negative line of scrimmage. But that play action, that's wide open. You're going to see a lot of that from Coach Bonise. And I was at the game. I called the game where Lambert broke my record for rushes, too. That was awesome. That was a great night.
That's great coverage.
Rolling, throwing, pass is caught. Touchdown. Jordan West out of the backfield. 13-yard touchdown catch, and Brother Martin strikes first with 7:08 to play in the first quarter.
Great job by Dezette. That was probably the third wide receiver on the sidelines, and he trusted his offensive lineman to actually block for him. He gave him enough time to let West get to the sidelines, kind of scored out. He kind of hid back behind the defense, and he let him get open. Dezette did a good job letting him get open for a touchdown. Great job.
Now Smith for the point after to make it 7-0. Looked like there was all movement up front, offside against Madison Prep. And that'll move the ball up to the 1.5. I'm not saying Mark Bonise would do this, but I've seen a lot of schools in this situation
would go for it.
Now go for 2 instead of the 1. But it's also early.
It's early.
Yeah. Do you want to get yourself off schedule scoring-wise?
Yeah, you got momentum right now.
So the first drive was 6 plays before the punt. And then when they got it back after the turnover, 5 plays, 27 yards, took 1:42 off the clock with the 13-yard pass.
And this is the chess match that we see Coach Bonise do year in and year out in every game. This is where he's masterful. Lenny, you'll see it. He'll run inside zone, inside zone, inside zone. Then he'll start hitting the flood passes, the pop play action, pop pass over the top. He wants those safeties and those linebackers to come up on the line, and then he'll just start picking them apart. So, good job. That was a good, you want to say 1 drive, but it was really 2 drives. But good job by Brother Martin's offense controlling the clock, controlling the ball, and getting points.
It's some good adjustments, clearly, from what we saw before the punt to after that. I think you saw some different things happening there to, maybe take a little bit of pressure off of Dezette as well with, through formation to some of the things that we're doing. And it looked like on that third down play, we saw better blocking out of the offensive line.
And Mark likes to run the ball more in the first half, a lot more, because he likes to get those legs for the offensive lineman. He likes to get the push on the defensive line, and we'll see it. It pays dividends in the second half. It will this game.
So Smith, who handles all of the kicking duties this year, punter, placements, kickoffs.
Hopefully kickoffs in the end zone. That's what we need. That's the best kickoff.
Give this one a ride. This is going to be back to about the 5. Take it in there. Bounce it out past the 20 and about the 25, 26-yard line. And that is where Madison Prep will start this opening offensive possession with 7:01 to play in the first half, or first quarter, I should say, in a 7-0 Brother Martin game. And, of course, one of the things we'll remind you, we're coming up about a minute away, is, of course, we're in September, and we will get hydration timeouts at the 6-minute mark of every quarter.
That must be nice.
Those things didn't exist when you were playing.
No, water was bad. You cramp up if you drink too much water when I play.
Tylen Johnson, the junior, returning starter at quarterback, will give it away on first down. Room up the middle and right near the sticks. Let's see if they give it to him. Tony Lewis, the senior running back, 879 yards a year ago, and they're going to move the chains. It's going to be a first down.
And we talked about this before the game, Lenny. This is where Brother Martin really has to do some yeoman's work, is on defense. They lost a lot of good players last year, and the ones that did come back really going to have to step up.
Once again, it's Lewis looking to bounce it outside. He's going to get run out of bounds after a gain of about 3, and that was Connor Milligan, the safety senior, on the stop right there. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, good job. Look like Madison's just trying to test Brother Martin's edges right now, going to the short side of the field. Brother Martin's got to be careful. They like to play that cover 3, but it locks up those man-to-man on the outside with the wide receivers and the cornerbacks.
Madison Prep with 3 receivers to the bottom, 1 at the top here.
There you go.
And that's well defended there on second and 7. This will be about a 3rd and 5 coming up after the gain of about 2, and that was the backup running back, Alfred McKnight, on the carry.
Good to see Malik, too, back in there and getting his head on the ball, anchoring that defensive line. Did a great job last year.
Malik, 62 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, had a big fumble recovery and a touchdown. I believe that was in the first-round playoff game against Woodlawn.
Yep.
And timeout at the 6-minute mark for our hydration break. So
I think I need a hydration break.
We'll do that as well. But he also gives us a chance to tell you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in the Metro New Orleans market, must be a reason. Shameless plug, full tease right now. Tomorrow night in that Shell Manhattan game at halftime, we will hear from the legend himself, Ronnie Lamarck. Ken Trahan had a chance to visit with him. Senior.
I see Junior on the billboards now.
He's out there now. Ronnie Michael is
a lot better looking.
Is getting a much more involved in the business part of things.
Good for him.
Yeah,
very good for the community.
Oh, no doubt. The Lamarck family is
great family, great people.
Long time supporters of sports in this area, and
a lot of charities too.
No doubt. They, Ronnie has a great heart and loves to give back and support the community, and we appreciate everything he does for us. No doubt, he can sing. In fact, he's got a new CD coming out. In fact, so 3rd and 5 at the 41.
Roll out left.
Yeah, Johnson.
Watch it deep.
Throws in the flat. It's caught and close to the first down.
Looked like he bobbled it.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a juggle there. That was Ladavius Spears, the senior, on the catch. It's going to be short by about 1.5 yards, and it's decision time here for Madison Prep.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to go deep at first, and then the running back kind of snuck out in kind of some dead space, and it looked like, man, was he going backward? Yeah, if he just would have leaned a little bit more upfield, he might have came close. But I don't know if he had the ball. It looked like he was kind of juggling the ball a little bit.
Just didn't have control. Needed to get control first before he could turn upfield. And by that point, the Crusader defense was there to stop him short. So this is
them. That's big.
4th and a long 1. The punting unit is on.
I would go safe punt right here. I would just say safe punt.
That's you're looking at the coverage. Yeah.
Yep.
Timeout. Madison Prep, they're going to think about it a little bit more. Landry Williams, the 6th-year head coach of the Chargers, we'll talk about it. And you notice, by the way, some of their color schemes look a lot like the LA Chargers. See the light blue on the numbers, the dark blue. They've got the gold trim in there. You got the lightning bolt on the helmet. It's
I'm still not used to LA Chargers, but
it's hard to say. No,
I'm still San Diego.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm getting there.
Well, you spent a lot of time, not a lot, but
played in Jack Murphy Stadium.
Yep.
With the baseball field still, we had to wear baseball cleats that game.
You played. Y'all played at San Diego State. I was about to say that you played in the Holiday Bowl when you were at UCLA.
We did not. Played in the El Paso, that bowl game down there.
Fair catch at the 20-yard line.
No problem.
There you go. So West takes the fair catch, and Brother Martin will take over at the 20-yard line with exactly 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. All right, so your thoughts here. Each team has had it one time. Thoughts early on what we've seen on both sides of the ball at this point. Obviously the big mistake in this game coming on special teams,
huge.
And that allowed set up Brother Martin in great field position.
And Brother Martin took advantage of it. So I like to see Dezek coming out, mastering the offense, kind of picking up where he was last year. Wes is taking in that role that Lambert played. But, yeah, I'm waiting to see somebody on the outside, wide receiver, kind of step up now in this role.
Give it away on first down. Nice little space there. I believe that was Harris on the carry. He'll get about 5. Maybe even 6.
Good to see Harris playing more of a role. He's going to have to because West is a little guy, so you're going to have that 1-2 punch.
You're going to see both of these guys. Yeah, look, that's the one thing that Tory Lambert, I mean, a lot like what Tulane did late in the season with Tyjae Spears, how they kind of rode him.
Yeah.
You saw a number of guys early in the year at different times.
Right.
Harris, again, looking for a hole out near the sticks. I think this is going to be just short by a couple of yards.
I like Harris. I mean, he's looking at the replay. He's picking through. He's very, very patient. He's waiting for those double teams to kind of get to the next level, Lenny, and that's when he's picking his shots to get downfield. He's doing a great job for a young back. He's going to see a lot of touches. Two-tight formation right here for the Satyrs.
On 3rd and 2. Got to get it to the 31. They will run it again.
Hold the ball. Look at this.
Look at this. A huge break as the hit was made and the ball popped in the air. Harris fumbled it. And Johnny on the spot, I believe that was
85.
Landon Craig, 85, who picked it up and advanced it for a first down.
And he got popped. I mean, that was a great hit by Madison that came up. He's got to secure the ball more. He looked like he tried to spin. And that ball popped right out. But Brother Martin with a very lucky break for a first down.
Call it at the 33. Play action to Zed over the top. He's got a man open, DeMonche.
Go ahead.
20,
Go.
15,
Hold
10, 5, touchdown.
Got it.
67 yards on the catch and run to Brody DeMonche from Seth DeZet, and Brother Martin leads this one 13-0.
Now, Lenny, that's exactly Coach Bonise textbook. First down, that safety's about 8 yards from the line of scrimmage. DeZet does a great job of play action, sucks that safety down, and what does DeMonche do? Long, deep post. And it's just pitch and catch. Great job by Brother Martin. Once those safeties start seeing that first down, give, they start creeping up. And that's when Mark Bonise has that play. Good job by DeZet, too, for calling it and getting that ball downfield.
4 plays, 79 yards. Took just a minute 40. Point after is good. And your new score with 3:21 to play in the first quarter. Brother Martin 14 and Madison Prep nothing. Chad, let's see, we get one more look perhaps at that touchdown.
Yeah, first down. Everybody's thinking run right here, run. And DeZet takes it out. Safety's nowhere in sight to help out, and that corner's locked up man-to-man. Great job. DeMonche, I expect him to kind of take on that role Leonardo did last year towards the second half of the season and being the go-to guy. So big play for the Crusaders getting up 14-0 on Madison. Let's see if the defense can come back out and respond too now. They gave up 1 first down, 2 first downs, I think, that last drive. But let's see if they can come back and, still in the first quarter, make some waves here and kind of stop Madison, because they're poised to strike. They got some big hitters on that team that are looking to break one.
So here we go. Kickoff. Back to about the 8-yard line. And out past the 20 to about the 23-yard line. That was Jeremiah Anderson, the junior.
Looked like
on the return.
Holding? Legal use of hands?
Let's see. Wait for the...
Very late call on the kickoff. Kind of was behind.
Let's see. Wait for the signal from the referee. It is against Madison Prep, so that's going to move them back. So they'll start this inside their 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do, being down 14, still in the first quarter. You got to help yourself out here.
A lot of time to go, obviously. So the ball, the 13-yard line is where they will spot it with 3:14 to play here in the first quarter. Looking to bounce it outside, and a lot of penetration there by the red jerseys. Looked like Malik was one of them back there, along with
I saw
51 Marco Flores, who played a lot for this team a year ago.
Yeah, and look,
back in there at outside linebacker.
I wouldn't be surprised if Madison starts kind of testing Brother Martin's secondary. They're young, they're inexperienced. They really haven't been tested. I wouldn't be surprised. Going in, the meat of Brother Martin's defense is up front, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start hitting the outside a little bit right here, Lenny.
2nd down and 12.
Here you go.
Pass near side is caught. And a first down, and a slew of Crusaders on the sideline to help bring down Hezekiah Dantzler. We told you we would call his name a bunch tonight.
Yep.
He's in at wide receiver right now. He's in at wide receiver right now, but
look, you got Caden Goodman. He's out locked up, on the corner. He's playing a lot of man-to-man tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised if Madisonville starts testing him a little bit.
Bad snap. And the running back,
Yeah, this was
that was Sage Ingram, the running back, the sophomore, who fell on it.
Yeah, and Johnson might have been looking downfield before he even caught the ball. This was definitely going to be a pass play. The ball's on the right hash, so you have a lot of room on the left-hand side, and Brother Martin's locked up man-to-man. And I can see the wide receiver right now pointing to him right now, telling him, hey, Johnson, man-to-man right here. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes right back to him.
So 2nd down and 14. Johnson. Pass is caught. Oh, no. Yes, it is. Can't bring it in.
Got it.
And now, there again was Dantzler.
He might have been past the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that could be. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. There's or it's an ineligible man downfield.
Yeah.
And I believe, is there also a flag at the 45-yard line? This could end up offsetting here. Let me see. I can't tell if that's just something straight on the field or if that's a flag.
No, I don't think that's a flag.
Let's wait for the signal. That's right in a spot where it might be an ineligible man downfield because it's about 2.5, 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. Let's see.
So this is what he has to realize that he
no, it isn't. Good call. Good call. It wasn't an illegal forward pass.
Yeah. So Johnson did a good job of stepping away from the pressure, but in the meantime, I think he kind of lost his bearings on the field, and he was about a good yard and a half past the line of scrimmage. But we saw his arm right here, and Goodman's got to be careful because they're going to test him. They're going to test those corners. Now it's Barton on the other side too. He's got the whole field to himself.
And that is a loss of down.
Now Brother Martin's moving more to looks like almost like a prevent defense right now, being 3rd and 20.
Yeah, 3rd and 18 officially. The ball is at the 18, the line to make the 36. Johnson.
Screen.
Incomplete. That was intended for Andre Gibson, the junior. And well defended right there.
Yeah, look, great.
Even if Gibson catches the football, Marco Flores is right there. He might have gotten a yard or two.
And I'm sure he's going up to Johnson being like, hey, can you get it down a little bit more next time? I like my ribs, preferably where they are. Because he kind of set him up. And
no doubt.
Yeah, Barton did a good job of coming up on that play. But, yeah, it was set up. The offense did a good job of letting the defensive line go through for that wide receiver screen, but just couldn't get him the ball.
So for the second straight possession, Madison Prep gets 1 first down, but nothing after that.
Brother Martin's going to get good field position.
Punt is away. We'll get a friendly Madison Prep bounce.
West
is going to take it on the hop and gets it out past the 40 to about the 44-yard line.
Now, this is the difference, Lenny, is that was frowned upon when I played here because it was grass. And nothing good can happen when it bounces.
You didn't know what kind of hop you were going to get.
You don't know what kind of hop. That ball would have bounced to the 20-yard line if he would have let it go. So now Wes is thinking,
saved his team 25 yards.
Even if I just get the ball and get smashed, I'm only at the 35 and not the 20. So yeah, it's kind of a different mindset when you're playing on this turf now.
So Brother Martin starts this drive at the 44-yard line. Dezette will give it away to West.
There you go.
We'll cut it up inside. Ball came out. The ball came out. It looks like Madison Prep may have fallen on it.
Yep, Madison's got it.
And look, that's
calling it down.
A lot of the bounces so far have gone Brother Martin's way. This is the first one that has another look at it there, Chad.
It has, and it looks like West was he had a good 5-6 yard gain, and he was between the tackles, but it looked like he tried to stretch it out, and that ball just got away from him. The kids are sweating. You really got to put 2 hands on the ball, especially, you're running between the tackles. You're going to have a lot of hands on the ball, slapping the ball. But, yeah, one of the few times, you're going to see Wes, he's usually a pretty good ball handler. Brother Martin's defense is going to have to step up right here.
So at the 48, best field position of the night for Madison Prep, and a nice-looking play on first down to get it out past the 50-yard line. That's Tony Lewis, the senior.
Now, Brother Martin was prone last year, especially at the beginning of the season, Lanny, to giving up the big play. If that defense cannot give up the big play, make Madison earn it, go down the field, good things will happen.
Well, the thing, if you get that sudden change out there, and all of a sudden your defense is back out there, that's when your defense has to step up and be able to just get a stop. You don't have to get the takeaway back.
There you go.
Bad snap on 2nd and 4. And
Wrap him
in
up.
trouble, and he will go down. That is going to be Jeremy Turner on the stop. 73 tackles a year ago, 6 for loss and an interception.
Yeah, look at it on the replay too. I don't think this was Johnson. I think this was a bad snap.
That is a bad snap.
It was to his right as well. The replay doesn't show it that good, but it was definitely far to his right.
And what will be the final play of the first quarter. So when we come back, Madison Prep will face a 3rd down and 13 at the 45. First quarter's been mostly all Crusaders. After 1, it is Brother Martin 14 and Madison Prep nothing. You are watching high school football from Crescent City Sports.
Attention prospective 6th through 8th graders. Spend some time on Brother Martin's campus and experience the Crusader School Day by attending one of our school day tours. With Mr. Carlos Bolgeron, class of 99, the assistant principal for admissions. Take a one-on-one tour with the current Crusaders and witness instruction and our academic schedule. Learn how to become an involved student through extracurricular and athletic programs. Upcoming school day tours are going to be held on Monday, September 11th, Monday, September 18th, Friday, September 22nd.
All right, as we get set for quarter number 2 here, we changed sides, didn't need to move very far. Lenny Van Gilder along with Chad LaRose, Chip Merritt, our producer this evening, Matt Merritt on camera. Starts with Madison Prep facing a 3rd and 13, now moving right to left on your screen. Ball at the 45-yard line. Movement up front. Let's see, did Brother Martin jump, or was there...
I believe
it is. I believe there is movement up front. That's going to go back 5 more.
Yeah, I think that it was the slot receiver. I can't really get his number on the right-hand side. Trying to get a little jump. Canadian rules football would have been totally legal. Can't do that.
Not in the American game.
Yeah.
So the ball now at the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 18 for Madison Prep. Johnson, time to throw. Lets it fly.
There you go.
Intercepted.
Did he get it?
I believe so. Yes, he did.
We got some guys down, too. So
a couple, it's just some friendly fire right there, but a nice play, and the interception. Was that Burris, I believe, that time?
It looked like Burris, Camden Burris.
Yeah. We talked about you'll see him on both sides of the football. You'll see him at safety. You'll see him at wide receiver. Steps up from his safety position right there.
Yeah,
it looks like a receiver, doesn't he?
He really does, and he went up for the ball like a receiver too. It was cover 4, so you have that safety over the top, taking away that skinny post. It's just that good news is that he got the ball. The bad news is that he slammed right into his cornerback, Goodman, and kind of went head over heels. But great job hanging on to the ball, giving the offense another shot.
And it'll be at the 35-yard line.
Trips right.
So 3 to the bottom, to the wide side of the field.
2 receivers uncovered.
And they try to run it this time, and not much doing for Sidney Harris. Didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage.
They're daring Brother Martin to throw the ball. They have 2 guys over 3 wide receivers down to the wide side of the field, which is very odd. So you're stacking the box. This is going into Coach Bonice's memory Rolodex for down the way. Brother Martin gets into a tighter set now.
2 tight ends, 1 receiver to either side, split out. Now they'll motion. And a nice-looking play here as Harris will break a tackle and get out to about the 43-yard line, a gain of almost 10 on that one.
Now that's Brother Martin's version of the counter right there, Lenny. They actually motion the H back over to the left side and to get that backside in, and then the tackle comes over to the right side, and nice little run, nice little gain right there.
3rd down 3 at the 42-yard line, and we've got movement on the near side here.
First game jitters.
Yeah, Rex LeBlanc, the sophomore, probably very possibly his first varsity game. Maybe saw a little bit of action a year ago, but
yeah, he's going to think about it on the bench now.
Yeah, now it's going to be 3rd and 8.
That's right. Sophomore, come on. It's not JV.
So now it gets a little 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8 as opposed to 3rd and 3.
Yeah,
obviously changes things in terms of the play call.
Yeah, it does. It's.
And we're going to see 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, and Harris still back there.
So we're getting plays from the sidelines, and Dezette's looking at the wristband right now. Probably a run-pass option. Counting the defenders. Plenty time on the clock. Look at the flood. Watch the flood.
Coming back this way, passes caught, first down. Taking a hit on the end of the play was Peyton Michelle, the senior wide receiver. And he is still down, Chad. He took a pretty good hit at the end of that play.
So it was a spread, 2 wide receivers on each side, and it looked like the slot man on the left came over to the right making a trips, and then Madison's defense didn't shift over. So you basically leave him in a big area in the middle, and that's where Brother Martin did its work. But that safety came over and had a really big hit. So hopefully it's not too bad, but good job hanging on to the ball and moving the chains. What was the number on that? Do we have
13. 13 with the catch, Michelle.
That was Michelle. Good job by Michelle. The senior right over the middle, yeah. He might have got the wind knocked out of him. He got his helmet off right now.
Yeah,
looked like he got
shot. He's walking off under his own power, which is certainly a good thing to see.
Yep. Coach is telling him, good job catching the ball, even though you can't breathe very well right now.
They'll take care of that on the sidelines.
You'll feel better in about 2 minutes.
The good news is it is a 1st and 10 now at the 46-yard line.
Harris looks like he's back there with Dezette. Spread formation. Madison's loosening up a little bit on defense. Play action.
Dezette far side throws no one there, incomplete. Just a miscommunication, and a flag comes in.
Yeah, that's a late flag. I don't know if that should be a flag, though, because that was an uncatchable ball. That looked like, unless he was breaking out to the corner and prevented him, he might have got him on holding.
Now a flag back here. Well, now I'm wondering if you're going to call intentional grounding here. They just dropped the flag right where he threw the ball, so that's what I'm curious about here. Let's see.
Well, it can't be intentional if it was holding. He's holding the receiver from getting to the area, so I think that's going to be
pass interference defense. And intentional grounding on the offense. So that's I don't think I've ever seen that before.
See that? Yeah, you can't have one and not the other. That's.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that before, but you never know what you're going to get. In any case, it will become.
They got to have a discussion because that's the receiver was trying to get to that area.
Right. So we'll redo it as 1st and 10. Yeah.
It could have just been intentional grounding.
Right. Then you'd be talking about a spot foul and a loss of down. Yeah, it's not the.
But that's look. It's the ref's first game too. So.
Yeah. By the way, and when Wade and I are back together next Friday, I'm sure we'll talk about this ad nauseum. But some rule changes this year in high school football is that is Sidney Harris on the carry. He'll get about 5 on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 5. The most important thing that I have railed on for years is holding as a spot foul, and now that is gone. Holding is from the line of scrimmage now on offense. It don't,
Yeah, because that's a drive killer.
Right. And the one thing I bring up constantly is the fact that Federation rules are supposed to be for ease of enforcement because you don't know how many officials you're going to be working with. As Harris carries again, we'll get about 2, and it'll be 3rd down and a long 3 coming up. But it's spotting, having a holding call not from the line of scrimmage but from the spot is a lot harder to enforce because you know what the line of scrimmage is.
Right. And then how do you know if that's 1 yard back behind the line of scrimmage or 4 yards back if it was a pass and then all of a sudden that's a 14-yard penalty and that's a drive killer. Right. It just you just killed the entire drive. Looks like Bonice is going after Madison's inside again. He's kind of
3rd down and 3 coming up here. 47-yard line of Madison Prep.
He's trying to land those body blows in the first half.
Give it away. Harris will look to bounce it, and he gets past the sticks for the 1st down.
Yeah, good job by Harrison. Just simple inside zone.
Yeah, kept his balance nicely.
He did, and he's bouncing off of tackles. He's setting up his blockers. These running backs, Harrison and West, both, they're doing a good job of being patient. When you're running inside zone. It takes a while for those offensive linemen to get off the first level to get to the second level. So they're not in a rush. They're letting those offensive linemen get to the defenders, and they're making their cuts and spinning off of them.
At the 44, one more time for Sidney Harris, who's getting it right now on this drive, and he gets
body
5.
blows, body blows, body blows. So this is where, Coach Bonice shows how patient he is as a coach. And he'll keep doing this, getting 4 and 5 yards, but look for the play action over the top. He'll give it a shot. He'll try one over the top just to make sure that Madison's not sleeping. There it is.
Play action. Took a chance that time to the single receiver to the near side. That was the tight end, Landon Craig, and he could not bring it in.
He's calling for a penalty, and he's got an argument because he was draped over the top, but the ref, that was right where the linebackers are. He just didn't have an angle on that to see that. But that's a nice little play too. That's that pop pass, and the linebackers really, you put them in a bind because they're coming up for the play action, and all of a sudden you got a tight end that's running right by you full speed that you got to cover.
So this drive has taken a little more than 4 minutes off the clock.
Bonice loves it. This is what he loves. He loves ball control.
A couple of first downs. This is play number 9 on the drives. Converted a 3rd and 3, or checked out a 3rd and 8 and a 3rd and 5 thus far.
Get outside. Get outside.
Stepping up and throwing, and incomplete. Nicely done there defensively, as that was intended for Rex LeBlanc. And now it's decision time here, and this is one of those no man's land situations here, Chad. 4th and 5 at the 39.
Yeah, and I don't see anything wrong going for it. You're up 14-0. Your defense is playing good. You're on the Madison side of the field.
Setting up a screen, and got to break a tackle.
Get the ball.
Left the ball get out, and Madison Prep's going to recover, but again, it was 4th down.
They had it.
And that's the 3rd time Brother Martin has put the ball on the ground here. The 2nd time they've lost one tonight.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I don't know if he would have made it, Lenny. It would have been close. I like the play call, having the screen come in. It looks like the Chargers defense was really trying to get into the backfield, but yeah, the ball being on the ground, that's concerning. Brother Martin's definitely got to clean that up. But the screen was there. It was executed properly. Is that the good job of kind of making those defensive linemen come up and dumped it right off? But yeah, that fumble, that hurts.
So the Chargers take over here at the 44-yard line. 7:29 remaining.
They don't have enough men on the line of scrimmage right now.
You're right. They've got 5 men in the backfield. Let's see. I didn't.
Called that,
yeah, they got it. Good spot there, Chad. As they threw the flag as soon as the ball was snapped, there were quarterback and 2 running backs in the backfield, and 2 receivers to the top of the screen, both off the line of scrimmage.
Yep, that's first game error right there. You got 3 guys playing a slot, and one guy has to step on the line of scrimmage. And that's a shame too, because that was a good positive play for the Chargers.
Now you're playing behind the sticks. 1st and 15 at the 39.
So it looked like Madison wanted to kind of throw the ball downfield, get some chunk yards. Let's see if they come back to that right now. Brother Martin's being favorable. They're playing cover 3. Linebackers up tight, kind of daring the Chargers to throw the ball downfield.
On 1st and 15. Give it away. Flag comes in, certainly in the neighborhood of holding, and this may bring back a very nice run right here by Alfred McKnight.
Yeah, and they had Brother Martin in a 3-down lineman set. Bad snap, but Johnson did a good job of pulling it in, but let's see if we can see who actually held. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. It looked like one of the Chargers got a Crusader from behind and kind of just drug him out the way. That's costly because that would have been a first down.
Now it's 1st and 25 back at the 29-yard line. Got to get it all the way to the Brother Martin 46-yard line. Snap is fumbled. Quarterback's just going to fall forward to get something there. Not necessarily. I would not positive, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
certainly got the ball back. A loss of
That's
3.
starting to be a timing thing. I see Johnson's kind of stepping back before he's even getting the ball. So I don't know if the ball's not coming back consistently or not for him, or he's expecting to come back faster than what it is. But yeah, that's troubling.
That didn't look like necessarily a bad snap. It just looked like he missed.
Yeah, but if it's a bad, I mean, it could be right at him, but it could be coming slower. So it throws his timing off.
2nd down and 28. They'll try the
That's
little
incomplete.
tunnel screen, but got to catch the football before you run with it.
Yeah, and Brother Martin's defense, they were sniffing that out. They looked like they were going. Those linebackers were kind of outside of the box, waiting for that. So that's a tough play when you got a defense that doesn't have 8 in the box. There's really that outside linebacker just waiting for that play to develop. Good job by the defense. So watch the screens right here, 3rd and long. Last time the Chargers, they tried to run that wide receiver screen to the field. Brother Martin did a good job of coming up. They're back to their 4 deep kind of prevent defense right here. 3rd and 20?
3rd
18?
down and 28. Got to get it past the 50.
I was looking at the wrong one.
And
come up.
Running, nowhere to go. Thing you don't want to do here is turn the football over, or make a
That's a late hit. That's it. He got him on that. I bet you that's a spearing.
Let's see
from Brother Martin.
Then we
that's
see
a late hit.
Yeah.
That's a.
Now keep this in mind too. Okay, unlike what you're used to seeing on Saturdays and Sundays, this isn't an automatic 1st down. You're going to get another. If that's indeed the case, you're going to give him another shot.
So that's
give him
15.
Yeah, you're going to add on 15 here.
Yeah, so that's a hit. That's a shot to the head. See, I mean, that's you're upset, but you're not really mad. The kid's being aggressive. He's trying to make a play, but you got to realize too that it's 3rd and forever. Let's be smart.
So now it's going to be 3rd down and 8 as we reach the hydration break here at the 5:53 mark of the 2nd quarter with a 14-0 Brother Martin lead. It gives us a chance to remind you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Rhino Shield Mid-South. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Rhino Shield resists chipping, cracking, flaking, or peeling and is backed by a 25-year warranty. Get your free estimate to visit rhinoshieldmidsouth.com or call 833-233-7181. That's 833-233-7181. Our thanks to Rhino Shield Mid-South for their support of high school sports here on Crescent City Sports.
Section 3022.
So, after the penalty, it is
3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8. Now all of a sudden you got manageable. You went from 3rd and 28. The gain in the penalty, now it's become 3rd and 8 at the 46. And
Brother
perhaps
Martin doesn't look to be blitzing.
Perhaps a get-out-of-jail-free card here for Madison Prep if they can convert.
Got a lot of guys deep.
This is going to be a quarterback run, and not much running room for Johnson. Well defended that time by the Brother Martin defense. He gets about a yard.
Interesting play call. And you only saw 3 defensive linemen, but you had about 7 linebackers sitting right about 10 yards deep. So I mean, that's
basically you were lined up right at the sticks there.
They wanted you to run the ball.
So 4th and 7 at the 47, and Madison Prep will send out the punting unit.
Yeah, if this is West back there, did a good job last time of preventing a very long punt from rolling.
Whistles before this one can get underway. It's a sideline warning against Madison Prep.
They don't have many to warn.
Well, do you get those? Sometimes
everybody
you get
inches
the personnel out onto the white there. And now if the official runs into him trying to do the job, it's an automatic. It's an automatic penalty.
Right.
But they see it. It's just a warning. Punt is away. West will try to run it down, but I don't think he's going to get there. And he's going to let it roll. Smart move here. We'll get out of the way. And down inside the 20, right at about the 15-yard line.
So this is a good time to see, Mark Ornice's 4-minute offense.
4:47 to play. Yeah, do you try to
Yeah, absolutely.
keep the football here?
No doubt. No, absolutely. I think you have to. Madison's getting the ball in the second half, I believe. So
they will get. Madison Prep won the toss and deferred, so they will get the football to start the third quarter.
4 minutes. I mean, Brother Martin can definitely put yards down the field in 4 minutes.
There's a little bit of RPO right there. They faked it looked like to West, and then tried to get it down the near side to Demonche, who had the big catch and run for the 73-yard touchdown earlier.
And I think Dezette's kicking himself right now, because if he just gave late flag on the field, if he just gave Demonche another second to get down the field, I think he would have had him. Is it a call on?
Yeah, I see a flag down at about the 21-yard line. Was this a man downfield? Waiting to see. Yeah, they did call, and that's the thing with RPOs.
Horrible.
You don't know what you don't know what the decision's going to be in that situation.
How do you coach that in practice? If it's a run,
if you're running,
you want to drive them downfield.
Yeah, I know, but if it's a run pass option, you got to just
I don't know
hold
how you
it for a second. Yeah, it's hard. No, it's hard. It's no doubt. Go the far side this time, but not much doing. Is Rowan Lipscomb makes the catch for about a gain of 1. That's a last name that might be familiar. Rowan's older brother, Kalijah.
Oh, yeah.
Played at Jesuit, went on to play at Vanderbilt. Was an outstanding high school and college receiver.
Came to his senses and went to Brother Martin in the family. I like to see that. 3rd and about 14, huh? Taking action.
A shot down the field. Pass is.
I think he got it.
I think he brought it in. Let's see. Are they saying incomplete, or I believe they said incomplete?
Preston Bullock. Did he not? They're thinking about it. The ground can't cause a fumble. Looked like he had it when he hit the ground. I don't know if.
But do you have to complete? You have to complete the catch.
Yeah, so he might have been.
Now it's 3rd down.
Okay, now it's 3rd down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they did take the penalty.
Okay.
So now 3rd down and 14 at the 11.
Yeah, Mark's definitely trying the seams. That's about the 3rd or 4th little pop pass where he's play action and the tight end or the slot receivers just going right down the seams, and the safeties for the Chargers are really getting the good shots on the Brother Martin wide receivers, but. Got the heavy package in right now. Looks like they're just going to try to.
Wait, do we have another? We have another penalty there. Backed up to 6.
You might need a timeout right here, Coach. They're kind of all over the place.
West with room to run. Out past the 20, out near the 25. He's going to be short of the 1st down. A gain of 16. There was actually a penalty on that play. So the previous play. So it was 2nd and 19. Now it is 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, they went with their heavy package, and, man, it looked like they were scrambling, but they pulled a good play. West did a good job inside zone, picking it right in between the A gap. Nearly got the 1st down for a very manageable 3rd and 3.
They're going to spot it at the 23-yard line, so it is 3rd down. I'll check it to 22. 3rd down and 3. Movement up front. Who moved?
They might have got him. Brother Martin went in motion. I didn't see any linemen jump.
Jordan Aguilar, 55, went across. But did he get drawn? Offside defense, big. And it's 1st really down.
Big. That's a 1st down. Going to be on the 34, 33. Yeah, with 3:18. That's a big penalty right there, Lenny. Yeah, it looked like they went in motion and it caught the defensive end off guard, and he jumped.
So at the 28, give it away on 1st down, and Madison Prep wasn't fooled in the least.
No, they're not. But this is all
big hit. Yeah, big hit right there. That was like number 11 with Davius Spears from his linebacker spot stepping up in there for the loss of about 3 on West.
Great job of filling in that gap. But this is all, Coach Bonise, he's going to get his runs in the first half to wear that defense down.
Check that.
Yeah.
Really, no gain on the play.
Trips right inside zone.
Yeah, not much
West
doing
looks like,
there.
no.
It's well defended once again. And look, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 runs, Madison Prep's done a pretty decent job trying to defend the run here. Now they've gotten burned a couple of times on the play action, but you're right, they have been
what's
on
the time of possession? You know, the time of possession's favoring the Crusaders as far as offense.
And
greatly.
It's that grind right now that you're really trying to.
And look, that's what in the overall, plan of Coach Bonise. He knows that this school has a lot of players going both ways, so he doesn't mind getting these drives and just grinding on that defensive line. Because I'm telling you, we'll see, especially first game in the heat. You got a lot of players going both ways. He's gonna test you.
Mm-hmm. Coming up at halftime, by the way, we got a great visit earlier this week. Brother Martin Principal Ryan Gallagher talks about a lot of things going on at the school. We'll talk about football. We'll talk about the LHSAA. Ryan, of course, is on the LHSAA Executive Committee. A lot of things going on there.
A lot of things.
Yes.
A lot of things, yeah. My wife went to school with Ryan. She said she liked him. I like him. I can't say. I know Ryan too, so I can say
Ryan is
he's a great guy.
Terrific
really good for
leader.
The Martin community.
Yeah, Ryan and Greg Rando, the president, done a terrific job of leading this school. On third down and about 9.
Got a guy in flat. Turn it.
A little bit low in there to West, and really didn't give him a chance to kind of get his shoulders turned. He had to dip down to get it, and it's going to leave him short of the first down by about 5 yards.
And number 16 came up. I don't have his name right now, but came up, did a good job of
Calvin Spears Jr.
Calvin Spears did a good job of closing that flat. Could have easily turned it up for a first down, but did a good job making a tackle.
So a couple of timeouts.
Hey, you might as well use them. You can't take them with you to the second half.
Right. So with 2:10 remaining, Madison Prep is out of timeouts. They used, the scoreboard says 1, but they used 1 early, and they've used 2 in a row here. So it's actually no timeouts remaining.
Yeah, and the clock. Yeah, I mean, you were going to get the ball. It was going to punt. Yeah, that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like Madison's got to put some points on the board right now. If they can get anything on the board, they're getting the ball back second half. Maybe something can happen.
Right, that can be a game changer. But Sean Payton would always look at those opportunities to try to double up. You get the ball to start second half, you go down and score at the end of the first half and get the ball coming out.
And look, that's how Brother Martin beat Karen Crow in the semifinals last year. Right. They were able to score right before half, got the ball back, scored, and had a turnover, scored again, and that train just kept rolling.
Just stole a couple of possessions in there, and really just kind of turned the momentum, and it turned into a getaway freight train at that point.
But with that said, Brother Martin's defense now has to prevent that.
Right. Here's the punt.
Get a bounce.
And a big bounce to about the 24-yard line.
Wrap him up.
And well defended by a host of red shirts right there.
Perfect.
Hezekiah Dantzler is a guy who's getting a lot of looks out there. He's a really good student, a 4.4 GPA. He's got offers from some Ivy League schools. From Frank Selfo at Southeastern has offered him as well. And, he's a guy, he's listed as an athlete. You see why. He's all over the field.
I think we got a player down right here, Len. From Brother Martin, looks like.
Looks that way, yeah.
See if we can get a number on him.
And as this evening goes on, you have to worry about like cramping and things like that. On a warm night, this is the first time scrimmage is one thing because you're playing a bunch of guys. Jamboree is basically a shorter version of things, and now so now you're playing a 48-minute game,
and you got
this
10,
environment
11
for the first
play drives,
time.
Yeah, it's hard to see. Coach Bonise is out there right now. It's hard to see exactly what they're working on.
Yeah, the one thing you want to do, especially in week 1, you want to get out of it healthy. And look at, Brother Martin was challenged with a practice schedule this week. The weather played a factor on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
You were already dealing with a short week, obviously, because the Jamboree was on Friday against John Ehret.
Right, you come back for the Thursday game.
Yeah, so you're already dealing with a short week, and then you had to deal with, we had some rain on Monday and Tuesday, so that challenged things in terms of trying to get in preparation. But in some cases you got to deal with the mental reps as opposed to the physical reps sometimes. See, it looks like it might be
99.
If that's
that
99, if that's 99, that's Nathan Malik.
Why is he on punt? We need him on defense.
Well, he's
come on, coach.
Yeah, he's certainly an outstanding player that you're trying to get out there as much as you can. So that's Gabriel Duran, who's now out there at nose where Malik would normally play.
Give him a hydration break.
Yeah, and you got some guys rotating through in all of those spots, really. There's that little screen on first down. Pass is caught.
Yeah, and that's fine. Brother Martin's playing like a cover 4 over the top with the linebackers kind of spread out. We'll take that all day if they want to just throw the ball and let them run around, keep them in bounds. Don't give up the big play.
Yeah, they're going to go without a huddle here. Second down and 2 at the 20-yard line. Throw it. Show you a little arm there out in the flat, but
that
just not where you want it, not where you necessarily want it to be.
An incomplete pass isn't bad right there. If he catches it and gets tackled, that clock's going down 30 more seconds. But yeah, I think Brother Martin's defense, they're really not playing a prevent right here, Lenny. That kind of concerns me. Is about a minute and a half left in the half, and they're playing kind of tight. Now they're dropping off a little bit. That linebacker kind of came back.
Give it away on third down. This will be a first down. And a nice run that time by Tony Lewis, whose name we've called quite a few times already this evening. Gain of 8 on the play. The clock ticks down to about...
Madison kills it. Yeah, we get to see that 2-minute offense a little bit. Gives Brother Martin a chance defense to kind of react quick as they're rotating out some defensive linemen. Is that Malik coming back in now? No, that looks like 50.
That's still 54. It's
54,
Duran in there,
okay.
yeah. Second down and 10 after the spike. Johnson looking to throw, but it's well defended across the board. The back end defended. When Johnson tried to run, the front stepped up and held him to a gain of about 1. Again, they're out of timeout, so the clock continues to run right here.
Yeah, good job on Milligan and Barton and Burris doing a good job. That's pretty much a coverage sack right there for the Crusaders.
Right. Officially goes as a gain of 1. 3rd and 9 at the 30. You get trips to the bottom.
Yeah. Keep it
Johnson.
in front. Oh, you got to catch that.
First down. Great catch that time. Keon Robinson, the sophomore. They've had to replace quite a few receivers on this team.
That went
Robinson
right through the hands.
up.
Yeah, right through the hands of William McKevitt. Looked like if he would have been able to get that, he walked into the end zone. But
ball spiked by Johnson. Second down.
Johnson did a good job of moving the Chargers down the field right now.
Madison Prep had 2 wide receivers a year ago who signed college scholarships. Traylon James to Prairie View, David Jones to Grambling. So you've got to replace that this year.
Wheel
pass
route
down the sideline is caught. Nicely done. Right
Great
there
route
by Keon Robinson, and that's going to be down to the 35-yard line of Brother Martin, a gain of 24.
Yeah, Keaton Goodman was there. He just didn't make a break on the ball. You got to see that wheel route, especially at this point in the game. You got to keep everything in front of you. It doesn't matter if they want to throw the little out route.
36 seconds to play here in the half. Johnson handles a little bit of a low snap. Going to throw a little screen back to the near side and going.
Keep him in bounds.
Now getting out of bounds is Tony Lewis. He was starting to cut it back inside. And the Madison Prep coaches in front of us imploring him, get out of bounds, get out of bounds.
So.
And
rightfully so.
I don't think he heard him, but he certainly realized what was going on. Yeah. Gain of about 8. 2nd and 2 now at the 27 with 27 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they got no timeouts right here, so they really got to be cognizant of where they are on the field. Trips right, spread, single wide receiver down low.
To the short side, ball on the near hash. Johnson got some pressure coming from the edge. He's going to step up and run.
Oh, this is going to hurt.
And he will get the first down at about the 23, so they'll spot it. And
you got to kill it.
They have 17 seconds left. They've been good about this. They've clocked it twice already, and they'll do it again right here. But hold everything. We got a whistle.
First down.
There, move the chains.
Got to wait for the change to be in place, and now it appears
But
they
the clock's still running.
The clock ran out. They're going to put time back on the clock
you
here.
got 12 seconds left.
It was about 17 when the play ended, so the clock the chains were not set. Let's see what they
17.
see what
They're going to
there.
put 17 back on.
So at the 23-yard line, they'll wind the clock now 16,
A lot of
15.
field to the right side.
Now they kill it. 13 seconds left.
Watch that wheel route again to the right side, Lenny. They did it with success to the left side, getting across Brother Martin's 50. But let's see if they do it again. They got
And when you talk
twin
about
wide receivers.
you got a couple of ways to run wheel routes. We more often
usually
hear about
curl,
them with
out
running
and up.
backs,
Yep.
but a lot of times it's the inside receiver
going around the outside receiver. Yep.
Exactly.
An outside receiver pulls the cornerback in like on a curl route, and that safety has a hard time getting over the top.
Pressure coming. Pass
He
is
bounced.
incomplete.
Yeah, he bounced.
8 seconds to go here in the half. And it's going to be 3rd and 10
That's
from
Keaton
the
Goodman.
23.
Yeah, good job. The cornerback staying on top. Looked like a dig route, just a hard in.
You almost got to try to throw it to the end zone right here, don't you? Really?
8 seconds.
Regardless, unless
that's
you get out of bounds or whatever.
That's a tough field goal. I mean, you got to give it at least one shot. That way, if it's incomplete, you still want to have a second or two
Whistle
left.
is Mark Boney's going to take a
Timeout,
timeout here.
smart.
Yeah, it's look. I know Madison Prep doesn't have a timeout, but at the same time, make sure your defense is on the same page here for this play because this
look at the down and this. Well, this is pretty much it. But look where you're on the field. The ball's on the left hash, so you got to tell that safety, look, don't cheat into the ball. Cheat to the field. Get over the top where the ball's gonna be. You got to tell that corner, loosen up. Don't bite on those dig routes. Don't bite on those those flat routes. Let it develop and then come up and make a tackle. Don't let anything get behind you.
Again, stay with us at halftime. Brother Martin Principal Ryan Gallagher, visit we had earlier this week, will be our guest. Brother Martin Open House, by the way, is 9 weeks from tonight.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's week 1, and when we get to the week 10, that's Thursday night, November 2nd.
It's a must-see. If you're a 6th grader, 7th grader out there trying to decide, it's a must-see. Go see the open house.
Fifth graders as well, yeah.
Yeah, my daughter went open houses when she was in 5th grade, so yeah. Trips right.
On 3rd down.
As the wheel
Johnson
route up top, he's going to it.
And the pass is incomplete.
Come on, got the aggressive safety.
Yeah, it could have. That was 2 men there. Could have certainly been
McKevick.
an interception, but
McKevick was there.
got knocked away.
Actually, the wide receiver did a good job playing defense and knocking the ball away. McKevick had it. He just got to go up with his hands. He can't basket catch it.
So 4th and 10 at the 23 with 2 seconds left. Barring a penalty, this will be the final play of the half.
4th down for the Chargers.
They're going to try for it?
And they're going to go for it here. Offense staying on the field. Johnson has Lewis next to him, has 3 wide receivers to the top.
Linebacker outside. Get outside, yes.
One out, one on the bottom. And wait, now we've got
Brother Martin's calling
check that. It's
delay?
a delay of game, yep. So now it'll be 4th and 15 at the 28. It's been a long drive. It started a minute 56. Now remember, we've had, I think, 3 spikes on this drive, but still, it's
a couple penalties.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 plays on this drive. Now Johnson's going to let it fly. Pressure is there. He gets away, stays on his feet, lets it fly. Pass is caught. No, it's not. It's incomplete. Just off the fingertips. And it may not have been he may have been down at the 1-yard line had he caught it. So that's one of those that you're on both sides saying, oh, wow, what just happened here?
Duran, Facette, I don't know how he didn't sack. They didn't sack Johnson because they were right there on him. Johnson did a great job of kind of weaving his way in and out the pocket, and could have definitely been a reception on that. Brother Martin got away with one that last play. of the half. But look, overall, Lenny, you can't ask more for your offense or your defense. You put up a couple touchdowns and you put up a goose egg in the first half.
Took advantage of the early turnover, got the touchdown, then popped the big play on the next series to extend the lead, and that's right where we are right now here with 24 minutes in the books on this opening night of the high school football season. Your score is Brother Martin 14 and Madison Prep nothing. A lot going on at Brother Martin. Ryan Gallagher is a 2000 graduate of the school and serves as Brother Martin's principal. And we get into a lot of subjects here in terms of what we talk about. And, obviously, we're watching a football game, so we talk a little bit about athletics, talk about what goes on with the LHSA, and talk about what goes on at school, because it's not just football season, it's also admissions season. So here's my visit earlier this week with Ryan Gallagher. Ryan Gallagher, a new school year starting here. Yeah, we talk to coaches all the time, and one of the things that we always hear from coaches, especially after a successful season, is how this is a new team. Your seniors are gone, and you've got new players coming in, and everything's a little different. Is that kind of the same way you feel about a new school year, and that while 80% of your student body's the same, it is a little bit different from year to year?
That's exactly right, and that's actually a really good comparison. Every school year is exciting, and the beginning of every school year is exciting, but what you said is so true. We have this routine, we have a structure, but the students are what makes it go. And so as traditional as we are and as much history as we have, you just never know what a school year is going to bring. And you get to watch, as faculty and staff, you get to watch the students really put their mark on the school year, particularly the seniors. You get to watch them lead. It's their turn now as servant leaders in the school. And then, of course, you have the new 8th and 9th graders coming in, and you get to sort of watch them figure it all out and also help them, and especially the senior class taking a big role in that too. So, yeah, there's you never know what's going to happen, but it's really a pleasure to watch the students really make the school year, whatever it ends up being.
We're about 3 weeks into the school year now. Football opener, and you get into football games, and those Thursday nights in this case, but mostly Friday nights at Tad Gormley and some of the other venues that your team will play at this year. That really becomes kind of a gathering point for your community for those 3-4 hours, once a week. More so maybe than anything else you do. Both you and I have been a part of college athletics, and athletics is the front porch to institutions. So what is it that football represents for the Brother Martin community in being able to help reach a much larger base than just your student body?
Yeah, it's, football at Brother Martin is a microcosm of so many other things in the school. But as you said, football in Louisiana, football in the South is really big. So it's really big at Brother Martin, and it represents community. There are so many other things at Brother Martin that represent the same thing, but football is a mechanism that brings everybody together. And so you see it from prospective students to our current families to alums. It brings everybody back. It brings people from within the city who just want to see a good quality school face another quality school in athletics and watch kids excel, and that's really what it's all about. But there are so many other things that Brother Martin offers that do the same thing, just not in as public of an arena as football.
And of course, lest we forget, as we sit here at halftime, of course, band, cheer, dance, all a part of what goes on any given game night. That's and so many other components that have a part in the game presentation as well.
Again, like I said about the beginning of a school year, it's the students that make it go. And so it's not just the football players. It's not just the football team. It's the support groups, whether it's our athletic trainers, whether it's the equipment staff, or you're looking at the band right now at halftime. It's the best band in the world as far as I'm concerned. The ROTC and the color guard do a great job. And so there's all these different moving parts that make the event special. And so, a lot of people are here to watch the play on the field, but they're also here because their son or their grandson is in the band or is presenting the colors with ROTC or is a dancing for Dominican as a Dominican Deb, and it brings everybody together and brings a really exciting atmosphere to the whole event. So
let's spin back to last year for a moment. A great postseason run to get to the Superdome for the first time since 1989, and I know it's something your community here has had a lot of chances, gotten very close, but the run to get there and then the week of the championship game, what did that do for not only your student body but for the community as a whole to have that experience, to be able to play in a championship game once again in football?
Yeah, so that I'll go back to the semifinal game. That was a back and forth game. There was one point late where it looked like maybe Karen Crow was flexing their muscle and maybe we were going to run out of gas, and then all of a sudden, I know you remember, the floodgates opened and we got to just kind of relax for, the last 8 minutes and just soak it all in, knowing that we were going to the state championship. That 8 minutes of that fourth quarter was really special, and it was really sort of the precursor to everything that happened the next week. And again, our football team got us there, but that next week, everyone in the community came out. Everybody wanted to be at Brother Martin. Sales in the bookstore went through the roof. And we had a great pep rally leading up to the game at school, and it brought back all the alums, from those teams who got close, or those teams who didn't get close, who wanted to be a part of it, who are a part of it, and it brought back guys from the teams that did make it to the Dome, and the support staff, the band, and the ROTC, and alums, and all of those people in the community all came back to celebrate the community that is Brother Martin.
Well, it's not only the start of a school year, start of another admissions season, if you will. You'll have prospective students on campus leading up to open house in early November. Talk about that process and what goes on. Obviously, that's critical to maintaining success, if you will, in terms of enrollment and all of the other things that go on. But the process of what you deal with now as you get into admission season as well. Yeah.
So admission season is like an athletic season. You have your competitive period, maybe, where people view August to November through open house season as admission season, but admissions never stops. So anything that's happening in our community, we want people to know about it, and we want our current families to tell our story. And that's what we always tell our families. Tell our story, and not just the Brother Martin story, but your personal story that you've experienced in your time here. And so that's always happening, and there's always opportunity for that. Thursday, November 2nd is open house, but there are so many other things happening in and around school that families and prospective students can be a part of, and that happens really 12 months out of the year.
As an alumnus, and so many of your counterparts at the other Catholic League schools are also alumni of their schools as well. Some of the things that you guys have been able to do over the last few years is, to take off your principal's hat and put on your alumnus hat. How proud of you of what you have been able to accomplish here to grow Brother Martin over the last few years?
Yeah, Mr. Randa, our school president, and I, we look at each other all the time and say, we know we're biased, but why would you want to go anywhere else? And obviously, especially when it comes to Catholic education in New Orleans, you really can't go wrong. But we are extremely proud of what our students have done for the school, and that's what we talk to our students about. Thousands of people came to Brother Martin before you to make it as good as it is today. but what is it going to look like in 10 years? What's it going to look like in 20 and 50 years? And what are you going to do to make sure that it's even better for those students who come to sit after you? And year after year, our students rise to that challenge, and they become great alumnus of the school, ambassadors in the city and worldwide that we're able to be extremely proud of. So it's just a real honor to be able to work here, much less be the principal.
Last question. You've had a chance now for a couple of cycles here to spend time on the LHSA Executive Committee. What have you been able to take from that has helped you back here on Elysian Fields? And obviously the latest thing going on is there's litigation involving definition of select and non-select. Well, we can't get into discussions about litigation and such. Just the fact that one of the things that we have just continued to deal with on the LHSA side is just the instability of what playoff structures and things like that look like, and maybe what you see going forward in that regard.
Yeah, the biggest thing I've taken away from it is that I truly believe that principals have the student's best interest at mind, but where you stand depends on where you sit. And that is the reality. And so there are a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different opinions, and we have worked over the last few years to find some common ground. And I think that there is stability in the organization. I think what we did last year in terms of the definition of select and non-select, I think was pretty well received. You're never going to get 100% of anything, but I think it was pretty well received, and I'm hopeful that we can get closer and get that warm reception more often than not moving forward.
Ryan, best of luck with the school year and everything that goes on with it, and thanks for your time here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Go Crusaders.
And our thanks to Ryan Gallagher for his time earlier this week. In-depth conversation about a lot of subjects. And look, it's a lot of exciting things going on Elysian Fields. And, we touched on, the concept of what playing in that state championship game a year ago for the first time since Chad was in uniform back in 1989, what that did for the community, and that the excitement level, you just can't. You can do everything you want, but you can't replicate it, and it's hard to quantify exactly what all that means in terms of the. When you do have success like that and bring your community together, and you saw some of the footage of the pep rally, and the crowds at the Dome were amazing. I think Brother Martin probably sold in the neighborhood of 15,000 tickets for that state championship game, and obviously that's not all money that's necessarily going in Brother Martin's pocket, but at the same time, it's a rallying point for your entire community to get behind something. The old saying, I remember hearing this in my days in college athletics, is that 80,000 people aren't showing up to hear a chemistry lecture, but they will show up to see a football game. So there's when you have success on the field, on the court, the diamond, the mat, the bowling lanes, whatever the case may be, that the success comes, the support that comes from within the community is immeasurable, and it's a big piece of what goes on, Chad, in terms of just how the Brother Martin community rallied around that team a year ago, and what it did for not just the morale of an 1,100 person student body, but those 15,000 alums that have walked those halls or worn those senior rings and worn those uniforms, and along the way, that was something. Again, you can't quantify what that meant to this school.
No, and for a backstory too, you can look at all the personal life of what Coach Bonice has been through in the past 10 years, and I always tell him he should write a book. He was on his deathbed 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Well, that
after a game.
It's leading into the Rummel Catholic State Championship game, and of course Rummel beat Brother Martin in the semifinals, and I had a chance to sit down with Coach Bonise for a piece that we did in 2020 on that very subject, and basically I took him right there, and he said it. Losing to Rummel saved my life.
Saved his life.
Yes,
he said he would have never went to the doctor if they would have won.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I remember working that championship game in 2019 at Yeoman Stadium, and you had two parochial schools in there playing. One Brothers of Sacred Heart School and Catholic, and they took him home before the game to pray for him, man. And at that point, we didn't know what the situation was. That was only. It was less than 72 hours removed from the event that he had. Mm-hmm. And, to see what he has done since then, the next year winning a district championship and getting to the semifinals, the next year, overcoming some of the challenges he had to face with the forfeits, and still, even after that, getting his team back to the state semifinals again. And then last year, with a team that certainly had its struggles and went 500 in the regular season, putting it all together at the right time and, making a run all the way to the state championship game. And a lot of success. And obviously, success raises the bar. And look, so far so good after 24 minutes here tonight.
Yeah. And we've been blessed to have a coaching staff and the players that come in and the students that come to Brother Martin. And, if one thing, I've been alumni for 30 plus years, but ever since, I've been introduced to the school, to my going to Brother Martin, to my alumni days, to now being associated with the school more, doing this and some of the alumni things, but it's quality from the top down. The teachers that I run into, that I talk to, some of the teachers are still there from Brother Martin, and you're not going to find a better faculty, better administration. If you want to, have your son become a man, there's great places out there, but Brother Martin's definitely one of the top places, and you really should consider it. It's not for everybody, but the people that go, I think the school pretty much speaks for themselves.
No doubt. The one thing you hear over and over again about Catholic education is in New Orleans, in this area, is you're not going to make a bad choice when it comes to these things. You're going to get a terrific education, but no doubt what we've seen, especially over the last few years. And look, it's not just walking into the building at 8 o'clock and walking out at 3, and that's all you do. There's more to the experience than that, and this is all part of it as well. What we're seeing here tonight, a terrific crowd across the way for this season opener. First time Brother Martin on the field in a game that counts, if you will, since that state championship. Chad, let's take a look at the first half stats and just some of those numbers of what we've seen thus far. Brother Martin, Mark Bonise, he doesn't like the 2 fumbles out there, and losing the turnover battle right now, but pretty good job at the line of scrimmage. And look, a lot of those 92 yards that Madison Prep got came in the last 2 minutes in that 2-minute drill.
Yeah, and you don't mind giving up those kind of yards, in a 2-minute drill if it doesn't result in any points. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, I think if Mark Bonise has a gripe, it's you got to take care of the ball. Besides the score, there's no greater stat than turnover with football. So that's definitely got to be cleaned up. He's got to be happy with his defense. I mean, me and Lenny Sumich called a lot of games, and the Achilles heel of the defense has always been, especially in the beginning of the season, Brother Martin has given up big plays, and we've seen it, against the Cars and the Warren Easons and the St. Augs and the Jesuits. They can score sometimes at will, and Brother Martin's had struggled with that. We've seen it here where they kind of kept the ball in front. They've had they made an interception. They got a fumble on the special teams, which really resulted in 7 points. So I would, if I was, Coach Bonise, it's kind of standard operating procedure on offense, but the defense has really picked it up and stepped up when they need to.
No doubt about it. So that's where we sit at halftime. Brother Martin with the lead over Madison Prep, 14-0. Both teams over towards each end zone, getting in their warm-ups. We will take a quick break. We will come back and get you ready for the start of the second half. You are watching opening night here of Louisiana High School football on Crescent City Sports. All right, as we get set to start the third quarter, both teams back on their benches now. Getting set. Madison Prep, again, won the toss, deferred the option to the second half, so they are going to get the football here to start the third quarter, and Brother Martin's going to kick left to right, it appears, to begin the second half.
And this is going to be a huge series for Madison. You know, a 3-and-out right now I think would be detrimental. They have to find a way to turn the tide and get the momentum on their side, and you know, nothing can do that quicker than special teams. You know, we've seen it with Brother Martin in the first quarter, getting that fumbled punt off the punt, and you know, the Chargers have to do something here to kind of help out the offense a little bit, because they've been getting the ball in horrible field position. Brother Martin's been doing a great job pinning them on their side of the field, but they got to find a way to flip the field.
So Grayson Smith will kick this away. We've seen him kick off a couple of times already, put him like between the 5 and the 10-yard line. This one will
good kick.
Go back to about the 2.
Stay outside.
Looking to get it to the outside and to about the 25-yard line goes Dantzler.
Very impressive.
So Madison Prep will begin there. First and 10, 25-yard line on the first play of the third quarter.
Well, let's see if they spread out Brother Martin's defense. They had some success running the ball to the outside. Let's see if they go back to that, or if it's going to be kind of like the run and shoot that we saw late in the second quarter.
Johnson in the first half, 6 out of 13, 1 interception, passed for 71 yards. Handed off on first down.
Yeah,
Brother Martin's got 4 or 5 guys waiting for that one. Yeah,
they play in a 3-4 cover 3 defense with basically 5 linebackers just waiting for that outside run. So they daring Madison to kind of throw it on the outside and the flat a little bit to kind of get to the edges, but you're going to have a hard time running outside of that defense that they're playing. Now they're switching to more to a 4-3 traditional type defense, cover 2.
Lewis gains 2 on first down. It's 2nd and 8 at the 27. Whistles before this can get underway, and it's a false start against Madison Prep. So once again, they will have to operate behind the chains.
And we were talking about turnovers, being bad, but
penalties penalties. There have been,
and it's hit them at terrible times.
And look,
first
we go back to this.
Yeah,
it's week one. The biggest improvement you make is what, from week 1 to week 2.
Yep. Straight drop back,
pass is caught out to about the 28-yard line, so they'll get the penalty yardage back plus about 1.
It looked like it was a spread formation, just 5-yard turnaround, catch the ball, try to make something happen.
So
third and 6.
Yeah, call it 3rd and 6 at the 29. It'll be a gain of 7.
Trips left for the Chargers.
3 to the bottom of your screen as you look at it. Pass is caught. That's well designed right there in a first down out to about the 40-yard line, and that was Keon Robinson, the sophomore.
Yeah, and when you're playing that 3-4 defense, look, Lenny, that's what the defense is giving you. That's flat. So good job by the Charger coaching staff to recognize that and hit the flat for the first down. Yeah, the ends are basically backed up off the line of scrimmage about 3-4 yards, and they're wide. So they're giving you that whole flat area. Madison wants to continue to spread Brother Martin's defense out of 3 wide receivers right here.
They'll give it away, and
there you go.
Nice penetration that time. That was,
98?
I believe, Chester. Yeah, Chase Chester, the junior defensive lineman, 6'5", 250 pounds, got some penetration in there.
He did,
and
he made contact
gain.
2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So that's good job by Chase getting back there and disruptive. Hopefully, that's a new name that we hear a lot from in the defense.
You're going to have a lot of new names this year. Really, of the returnees, only 3 players had double-figure tackles a year ago.
Malik, Turner,
and Jaden Weber, who was second on this team in total tackles a year ago with 136.
Was that a bobble snap?
I don't know if that was meant to be a direct snap, if something was that far off, but the ball ended up in the hands of Lewis. Take another look at it here and see exactly what happened.
It didn't seem like the snap was clean, but it went right into – that was a bad snap. It looked like Johnson kind of tipped it to the running back and managed to get a yard or 2 out of it. But, they still having problems with the exchange between the center and the quarterback out of the shotgun. Trips right, definitely a passing down here.
Third and long, almost 10.
Brother Martin's pressing him. They're daring him to throw it over the top.
Johnson looking, staying on his feet. Now we'll look to run. He's tripped up, and a nice play, but there's a flag down in the backfield. And Jaden Weber, who we were just talking about, made a nice play from his inside linebacker position, stepping up.
Yeah, because if he doesn't, Johnson's still running.
The penalty's going to be declined. I'm assuming that was a holding penalty against Madison Prep based on where the flag was thrown, and it'll actually be a loss of about a half yard. So this is actually going to go as a sack for Weber.
And you got somebody down from Brother Martin, looks like in the backfield. It could be a cornerback or a safety all the way on the opposite side of the field. That's weird. Huh? Yeah. That might be cramps coming in now, Lenny, that we see. Look like they're stretching them out a little bit.
And again, remember this. I mean, obviously, you've got the heat and the humidity, but you've also had guys that have been down for 23 minutes that are now coming back and playing a little bit here. So,
and they're throwing the ball deep, and they're running back.
They're making you run. Yep, no doubt.
Those guys on the outside, they're running back and forth. Even if the ball's not coming their way, they're running 20, 30 yards of play.
So when we come back, it'll be 4th down and 10 for Madison Prep. And much like we saw a couple of times in the first half of the Brother Martin defense, gave up 1 first down and then tightened up and got the stop.
He might have twisted an ankle.
That looks like
Burris.
That's Burris. And again, it's one of those guys. Burris getting hurt. We saw Malik go off in the first half, and the
that's the core of the defense.
Other thing you don't want to have to, in week 1 deal with a lot of injuries.
No. The good part is it's Thursday. You have an extended weekend to rest a little bit.
You do have an extra day. Brother Martin doesn't play till next Friday at St. Paul's.
Back go, Peter.
Punt is on the way.
Back up. Let it go.
And that will be down to the 44-yard line. So just a 15-yard punt. Brother Martin's going to start with good field position here.
They are, and I expect a big dose of Harris and West between the tackles, just really leaning on those defensive linemen. And now that they're pretty much, 45-yard line right here, I think Coach can work the clock. And oh, you got twins right.
Two to the bottom of your screen, yep. And they will hand it away to West on first down, trying to get he'll fall.
Hold the ball.
That's good effort to fall forward. That could have been a 2-yard loss, and it turned into a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, that was almost like a sweep to the left, which we don't see too much. They're usually between the tackles. But, yeah, West doing a good job of losing some ground, but then cutting it back and getting, 2 yards, making something out of nothing on that play.
Officially a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8, the ball at the 45-yard line. West now 51 yards rushing on the evening. Harris with 34. It'll be West again. Well, I tell you, it looked like something was there, and it closed up pretty quickly there, and he's going to be stopped for another gain of 2.
Yeah, and you're in the middle of the field right here. So if, Mark Bonit's getting 3 yards a carry, 3-4 yards a carry, if he gets another 3 yards right here, he's definitely going for it on 4th down. I would be shocked if he didn't. But, he's looking at play action right here.
Even the way your defense is playing with this lead.
I mean, knowing Coach Bonise, he might punt it, but I wouldn't be shocked if he kept it. If they get 3 or 4 yards on this down.
Well, let's see. The Zet will look to throw on 3rd and 6.
They got it in flat.
Pass is caught, and that's West once again, and that's a first down. Yep.
You don't have to worry about it.
There you go.
Yeah, good job. Play action. That's really hard on those outside linebackers and his defensive ends when you see West get the ball 2 times in a row, and all of a sudden he fakes it and he's running right by you in the flat. So good job by Dezette, kind of orchestrating that whole series to get the first down.
Officially a gain of 7.
32. We got a new running back in there. There we go.
3rd running back we've seen tonight. That's Alex Diaz, the sophomore. And
it's good to see some fresh blood in there. Give Harris and West a little break. Welcome to varsity.
There you go. No gain. Diaz, 5'9", 181 pounds. Of course. A lot of things operate by committee.
Yeah.
When you're talking about Brother Martin's offense or defense, you're going to see a lot of guys get in there. Now it's Harris. Oh, then a flag comes in. That may be a face mask. He went head over heels on that tackle, and he might have got pulled down by the face mask.
He really didn't need to, too, because he had him. He tried to bounce it out to the outside. Harris does a good job of kind of being that scat back, but personal foul. Yeah, they got the face mask on that. Good call, Lenny. But, yeah, it's a shame, too, because that was only going to be a 1-yard gain. Would have been 3rd and 9. Now you're looking at Brother Martin first down and deep in the Charger territory. Yeah, mistakes. It's hard enough to win without mistakes, without turnovers. But when you turn that ball over and start, committing those penalties, it's
the penalties piling up here for Madison Prep as now Brother Martin plays at the Madison Prep 31-yard line. 2 backs in the game right now, and that is going to be Harris on the carry. As Diaz was flanked out, he came in motion.
All right, watch Brody.
We've seen a lot of
Demonche. Watch him right here. He just gave Dezette a little look. Brody's the inside wide receiver on trips right. This might be a low run pass option right here.
Play action. Pass incomplete. He looked that way, but it was a little high.
Yeah, it was intended to Brody. He was going for it. It looked like it was trips, his little play action slant route. Dezette kind of threw it off his back foot and kind of got a little bit too much air under it. He had him for a second. It would have been a real tight pass, but Dezette likes those slant routes.
Javen Holmes on the coverage right there as we have reached the 6-minute mark. And that means hydration break in the month of September in Louisiana high school football. So
I'll take that hydration break.
There you go. Take it with him. While you do, it gives me a chance to viewers that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 45 years, transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction.
Play baseball with Brian Gibbs. Good guy. Even though he went to Jesuit.
Brian, of course, you know,
really good guy.
Larry.
I like Brian.
Look, Larry Gibbs has supported everything in amateur athletics.
Great fan.
And, no doubt.
Good pitcher for Gerard too. Big Gerard Viking. Going back in the day.
The one thing that Larry did that kind of blew me away. I was working at Tulane when Brian pitched there, and he bought a newspaper ad to say thank you to Brian on senior day.
That's awesome.
And then 20-something years later, he did exactly the same thing for Emerson.
Play action. He's got a
Third
guy.
down, pass is
Tight
caught.
end.
Couldn't
Didn't
keep
know where
his
he
feet
was.
in bounds, and he steps out at the 16-yard line. But that
Was that
receiver
Bennett
kind of
Pauls,
leaked out.
Yeah, was that the tight end?
I think
that
it
came
was.
up?
Yep. I believe
82?
so. Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Dizette, I tell you, he's as good as any doing that play action. And when you've seen West and Harris run the ball 30 times already, and you know, Dizette does a good job of pulling it, that little pop pass, you're going to get yards. You get chunks of yards off of it.
Yeah. Balzer
in a tight formation right here.
Balzer, a senior, 6 foot, 194 pounds. The run on first down will get about a yard.
Now we're starting to see the defense, Lenny. If you look at them, they're starting to stretch and starting to get up a little slower. This is Bonise 101, textbook 101. This is how he loves to play. You got a defensive back from the Chargers right here down. Looks like his cramps are.
Well, you brought up a point earlier, a couple of fronts. One, see what's going to happen in the second half, especially with their numbers, especially with guys playing both ways. We've got an injured player that they're working on down at the 5-yard line, trying to stretch him out. But not only that, then you know the other thing you mentioned is watch this first drive of the second half. You can break the will a little bit of a team with a grinded out kind of drive, especially if it ends up in points and you turn this into a 3-score game.
Yeah, and it's going to be an uphill battle already. But I mean, when you get to where you're being methodical about it and just marching down the field with it, it's tough. As long as Brother Martin, keeps that game plan, don't turn the ball over, don't make mistakes.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if that was 6 Carlos Freeman or 9 Torrey Batiste who was injured on the play.
Yeah, it looked like he's cramping out. That ain't going to be the first one we see.
No,
too.
we're seeing quite a bit of that. Yeah, no doubt. So 2nd and 9, ball at the 15-yard line. Crusaders back in the red zone for the second time tonight.
Good spin move by Harris. He's got that spin move down. Hang on to the ball.
Got a yard out of that. That could have been a 3-yard loss very easily.
Absolutely. Good job by that. Now, we see, and I know Coach Bonise sees it too, is that, the Chargers are basically selling out. They're locked up man-to-man. They have 8 guys in the box, and they're not going to let Brother Martin score the ball running or run the ball down. They're going to basically test them on the outside and say, I dare you to throw it. So let's see if Dizette sees it. Audible's off of it. We've got some wide receivers running in and off the field right now.
I think Mark Bonise is going to have to use a timeout here, and he will. Play clock was inside of 10.
You don't want to take a penalty right here.
A little personnel confusion right there. You want to make sure you get this right on 3rd and 8 at the 14-yard line as the clock has ticked down to 4:42. This drive started.
You take a shot right here, and you're still in pretty good field goal range. They got a really good kicker. So, but you don't want to take a penalty and make it even harder and make it harder on yourself to get that first down.
Right. Again, the field goal would make it a 3-score game at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this point. And again, you're not only playing the opponent, you're playing the clock right now. Yeah, 4:42 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, and look, as long as you keep having 6-7 minute drives, that's Mark Bonise's wheelhouse.
Right.
He'll take that any day of the week. All the good coaches you see, Coach Curtis does it he did it at the state championship game. He got a lead, and then all of a sudden he just went to conservative, 10 play drives and work the clock. So just don't make a mistake. Take that time out right now. That's not a big deal. Spread wide receiver. Yeah, here goes Brother Martin. He's going to take a shot.
Rolling,
you got a guy in the
throwing, caught, touchdown.
I was just going to say wrong choice of receiver, and he throws a touchdown.
Great play.
Good job.
DeMonche with the sliding catch in the corner of the end zone, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and it is a 20-0 game.
He's definitely his go-to receiver. He had balls are wide open in the flat as well. He could have just done a little pitch and catch, but he saw Brody just sitting out there right on the cone on the right-hand side. Lenny did a great job. Just a flood route. Yeah, Dizette came out, rolled out. He gives the wide receivers so much time, and Brody does a good comeback route to the outside, and it's just, man, money. You can tell those guys, they just got it. They got that feel. They're gelling right now early on, which is a good sign for the Crusaders passing game.
57 yards, 9 plays. It took 4 minutes and 16 seconds, ending in the 14-yard catch.
Great job
by Brody Dumonche. His second touchdown of the night.
Brett's got to be proud. Papa Brett.
Dezette threw 3 touchdown passes in 7 games last year. He's got 3 tonight.
That's awesome. I think I had 3 my entire junior season, Lenny. So,
how many passes did you throw your junior season?
I tell you what, I always say this, and Kenny laughs at me and he rolls his eyes, but I'm going to stick to it. I don't go so much on the passes I attempted. My completion rate was over 70%, if you can believe that. Now, I might only thrown 15 passes, but I completed 11 of them. So
there you go.
Lenny Sumich wouldn't give me any credit for that either.
You ran the offense. It's not like you were calling your own plays, I'm sure.
No, I was calling my own give or pitch or run. If that counts.
But
in the words of Coach Conlon,
you were reading that, but you were
When you throw the ball, Lenny, 3 things happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Yep,
that was his forte. But no, great job by the Crusaders coming out. The offense is definitely clicking. The defense is hopefully, I know they're looking at the clock now. They want that goose egg, but special teams is looking really good.
Last year, and the return here, a late flag comes in out to about the 23-yard line. We'll see what the penalty is all about.
Yeah, and look, we're talking about the offense and defense. Special teams has been amazing here. Smith's done a great job kicking the ball, punting, taking all the duties. Yeah,
he's handling everything. He's handling placements, kickoffs, punts. He's done a nice job all the way around.
Yeah, so special teams, Coach Bonisa got to be happy with that, because that's usually the side of the team that really takes a while to get going. The special teams.
It's a crackback block, a personal foul. So Madison Prep is going to be backed up again.
Yeah,
this is going to put them back inside the 15. They will put it down at
their drives have started
12-yard line,
deep within their own field. They have not gotten a break when it comes to starting field position. I think getting a little tighter formation. It looks like 2 backs.
Or at least an H-back in there.
Good job
trying to get to the outside.
Yeah,
Johnson will get out near the 20-yard line.
So that was a
little read option.
Kind of read option out of the pistol, which is
a
good for him.
Look.
I know Nevada ran that back in the day and did really well with it, but that takes such a long time to develop. But yeah, nice little 9-yard gain for Johnson reading that.
This will be second and really a long one. Call it 2 officially. Ball at the 20-yard line. Johnson's going to run it again. That was probably not the right read right there. And some great penetration in the person of Jaden Weber, the junior.
Yeah, and I think, the Chargers at this point, you don't want to feel like you got to score right now, but you got to have a sense of urgency to be like, hey guys, we got to start getting chunks of yards. Being down 3 touchdowns, 3 scores at this point with 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. We got to move the chains, but we got to start playing with some kind of sense of urgency.
3rd and 3. This time we can see a little option. Bad pitch. Ball's down. Who's got it? Did Brother Martin come up with it? They may have. The ball was loose on the turf. And it appears it's going to belong to the Crusaders in great field position inside the 15-yard line. It looks like that was Marco Flores that came up with the ball there, Chad.
Good job by Mark, and it's a shame too, because it was a bad pitch. Lewis actually had it to the outside, and they read it well. It was just a bad pitch on his back hip, and that's hard to kind of readjust. That's a shame too, because it looked like they were trying to work something with the option. It looked like they might have had something going for the Chargers, but give it up for the Crusaders defense. Been tough all night.
So Brother Martin will start this drive in the red zone at the 12-yard line with a chance to.
You can't ask the defense to do anything more than that. Yeah.
Put this away right here.
Here comes Brody on the right side in the slot position.
Back in the slot. 2 receivers to the bottom. 2 tight ends and 1 back. And going right back up top, and pass is
to the sophomore,
caught. Touchdown. But no, they're going to mark him short. I thought he thought he got in, and he can't believe it. Or actually, that's DeMonte.
Was that Rex LeBlanc?
That was Rex LeBlanc.
Yeah, it looked like number 16, the sophomore.
Tell you what, if there was instant replay here like they would do in a state championship game, you might be looking at it right now.
Lenny, I got that same exact play from my girls' St. Dominic's flag football team. It's the twin wide receivers, and the outside wide receiver comes in on a quick slant and money.
4 tight ends in the game right now, and they're going to give it away on first down. I don't know. He didn't get in. And I believe that was Julian Cutter. First time we've called his name tonight.
It looked like they tried to trap him on the inside. I saw that guard pulling around, but couldn't get in. Good job by the Charger defense making that stop. Trying to get a number to see who that was, but
I believe it was 10 Cutter on the carry. First time we've called his name. The sophomore, 5'9", 148 pounds. Now they'll give it away. I believe that was Harris on the carry, and he got back to about the line of scrimmage. No, making it very hard right here.
Too tight. Brother Martin's in the jumbo offense, jumbo formation. But, yeah, the Chargers are holding tough on defense. They're not letting them get anything on the inside.
So now it's 3rd and goal. Back at the 1. Let's see. It'll be maybe about 2 feet away. It's inside the 1 yard line.
I mean, when all you do is run shotgun, is quarterback sneak in the repertoire, Lenny? I mean, do you ever practice that? Is it even called quarterback sneak when you're taking it out of the gun?
Right.
I don't even know what you call it.
You got 1 wide receiver way out to the left. Everybody else in tight. Give it to West, and he will walk in for the touchdown.
Yeah, he's got it.
Jordan West, who had 6 touchdowns a year ago, gets his 5 rushing.
He's going to have a lot more than that this year.
Gets his first rushing touchdown, his 2nd of the night. He also had 1 in the air earlier.
Good for them. Yeah, that's my only gripe about running shotgun on the 1 yard line. That just
and the one thing you know when you run everything out of shotgun, I mean, at one point, you remember the rule was if you were going to take a knee, we take a knee. You didn't. But then to spike the ball, you have to be under center.
Right.
And
so you've got to practice.
You've got to practice certainly at some point. Yeah. But when you don't do it a lot, do you really want to deviate? If the kick is good, it'll make it a 28-0 game here with 1:10 remaining in the 3rd quarter. When you don't do it a lot and you're running 98% of your offense from shotgun, do you want to go line up under center and try to have to do, you're at the 1 yard line. And that's, the one place you don't want to fumble a football. I guess maybe your own 1 yard line, but still, you're going in trying to score. You don't want to go giving it away right there.
No. But, my brain thinks that when you're in a shotgun, you're not on the 1 yard line anymore. You're on the 5 yard line.
Right.
So.
No, exactly.
I mean, But look, they scored. So.
But you got a chance to be able to block a play and run it. And I think reality it does give you a little bit more room to operate sometimes. Suppose we hear those things all the time about the red zone. You get, defense can sometimes have an advantage trying to defend you when you're down there because you've only got so much room to
They back at the end zone is like another defender.
Exactly.
Yeah. I used to coach that when I coached at Rummel. It's like there's no point covering a wide receiver 5 yards deep in the end zone. Why are you doing that? Let him throw it behind you. Let him throw it over your head. Smith with another good kick.
Yep. Down to about the 4 yard line. And also putting it on the numbers. And this is well covered by the Brother Martin defense. And Madison Prep is once again going to start deep.
Yeah, they got to be careful of that now.
There was a
starting to get some
little chippiness away from the play there.
Yeah. Chargers still playing hard though. They're playing tough. A lot of big hits on special teams. So the Crusaders still see their starters out right now. They're gonna leave them in and let them play.
Maybe starting to see a few. And it's the thing when you rotate as many guys and we
feel comfortable.
We prep for this, and I mean a lot of times you might see 11 guys on our sheet and we prep
and think why.
No, I've got 17, 18 guys on here, so you're rotating guys through. Pass is caught and nicely defended that time. And once again, we've called Marco Flores' name a bunch tonight. He's right there to make the stop on that play for a gain of 5.
Yeah, Jarvis Washington went in the air, got the ball really good. We call it a 5-yard headache, But, yeah, keep it in front of you. Keep him in play. Keep the clock running. There's spread offense right here. We got a Charger coming off the field late.
And that pass is caught right at the sticks. It's going to go for a first down.
Yeah, they're just running hitch routes down the field. And I got to think, if I'm Brother Martin's defensive coordinator right now, I got to be happy with that. If you want to do that, we'll come up and make a tackle. That's no problem. But now I got to be thinking, too, one in my defense, watch the hitch and goes, watch the trick plays. We saw the wheel routes earlier in the first half that the Chargers had some success on.
From the 21. Johnson on the move.
He's tough.
He's tough.
Good.
He got it back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it.
He's tough to bring down, man. A lot of times I thought that Brother Martin's defensive line have kind of corralled him in, and he finds a way to squirm out and find a hole and get in the open. But it's Brother Martin's doing a good job defense with coverage and locking things up. And as we come to the end of the third quarter,
end of the third quarter here, 12 minutes remaining at Tad Gormley Stadium on this opening night of the Louisiana high school football season. And your score, Brother Martin 28, Madison Prep nothing. Back for the fourth quarter right after this. You're watching high school football from Crescent City Sports.
Here, how Brother Martin will provide you with a quality education taught in the charism of the brothers of the Sacred Heart using a holistic approach. In the words of Brother Martin Hernandez, we are not here to teach boys how to make a living, but how to make a life. Open houses for 5th through 8th grade prospects. Thursday, November 4th, from 4 to 7 p.m. Register at BrotherMartin.com or the admissions office, 283-1561, extension 3022.
All right, we get set for quarter number 4 on a Thursday night in City Park in New Orleans. Monty Van Gilder, Chad LaRose with you.
Just
shot deep down the sideline. Pass is caught. They'll call it a catch.
Now,
the 39-yard line.
Did Brother Martin think that was a punt? It looked like they had West back 30, 40 yards deep. I know it was only third down, but
I think it was second and 10.
Second?
Yeah, second down. Yeah,
Brother Martin, I don't know why they had a safety about 30 yards deep for some reason.
And I guess at this point in a 28-0 game, you're trying to, keep things in front.
Yeah, I definitely kept it in front, but
gain of 40.
Spread.
That's a little
routes.
pitch. That might have even been a lateral, and that's going to go for a gain of 1. Just had nothing going there. I'm pretty sure that was a lateral, so that's going to be a run for Lewis for a gain of 1.
And that's it looks like a player's down right now for Brother Martin too. And once players are signaling on the sidelines, this is cramps right here, Len. You can tell it.
Yep.
Trying to stretch him out a little bit. Yeah, we're going to see this in the fourth quarter. I know we don't have another hydration break for another. They do it in the fourth quarter.
They do.
Too?
Yes, they do.
Every 6 minutes left.
Yep.
But yeah, those kids, you might starting to see them rotate in and out a little bit more now because it's definitely going to set in. But yeah, if the Chargers just want to run those hitch routes or those flat passes, Brother Martin's got to be happy with that. Just play 4 deep. Tell your outside linebackers, look, give up the run, and you come up and make a tackle and keep everything in play, keep the clock running.
Yeah, now you had, of course, the play a moment ago, the first play of the quarter going for 40 yards.
Yeah, I'd like to see the replay of that because I could have sworn West was just almost looked like they were going to punt the ball.
So 2nd and 9 when we come back is
Chesser?
It's Chesser this time.
Yeah, he's definitely cramped up. He's got a calf that's locked. He can't even barely bend his knee right now.
But walking it off on his own. He's got to work it out.
Yeah, and you got to be careful. When I was coaching at Romo, man, we took Terrence Dunbar. We took him to the hospital from excessive cramps, and he had to get a couple fluids of bags of fluid, and
that was
it's just
one of the things I was talking to Landry Williams, the Madison prep coach, on the field before the game. I was like, you've got some guys that are going to play both ways. It's going to be, there's going to be humidity, okay? And what do you do? He's like, I told him start hydrating yesterday.
Yeah, if not sooner. I mean, that ambulance, they ready to go. They probably have some IV bags ready to go right now. Trips left.
Motioned into that.
Good coverage by Brother Martin's defense. Really doesn't have anybody.
Running, nowhere to go. He gets hit as he throws. Incomplete. He took a shot on the play.
Yeah, I mean,
Jaden Weber, but
look, he's still in bounds.
Yeah,
It's
he was
not
right
like
there
was
delivering it.
Yeah.
He just didn't step out. He stayed in to make the throw, and Weber delivered the shot. It's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and Weber's defense too. Look, Johnson, he's running and he's hard. He's elusive. So if you can get a shot on him, you got to hit him hard enough to bring him down because he's been eluding Brother Martin's defensive line all night.
Johnson's a guy who had 2,500 total yards a year ago, so he can
scoot.
No doubt. Wanted that through the
Brother
air.
Martin's trying to get that coverage. Is right. Trips left.
3rd and 9.
They got a guy
Johnson
going deep.
lets it fly. Man wide open, but he overshot him.
Yeah, Brother Martin, they were confused from the start. They had a strong safety lined up on the wrong side. He had to run over to the trip side, and the Chargers looked like they were running a flag route, but Johnson just couldn't get the ball, and they threw it a little bit too deep for him. He had him open, though. He was open for a couple seconds.
Like it was intended for Gibson right there. So on 4th and 9, that's 4-down territory in the fourth quarter of a 28-0 game, certainly.
Yeah, Burns better get ready because they're coming right back at him, too. He's got trips to his side.
Johnson goes back to the other side, incomplete. Went to the single receiver side, the near side, and that was intended. That was intended for Washington.
Yeah, Ware, he got away with a push too. He could have definitely had defensive pass interference on that. He was on coverage. Looked like it was just a streak route, and Johnson overthrew it. But yeah, good job by Ware. Look, if it's not a penalty, it's good coverage, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Brother Martin's going to take over at its 38-yard line. Madison Prep got a couple of first downs on that, but that's the thing, Brother Martin has been a little bit tonight, but it hasn't broken.
Yeah. Let's see if they have some. If Coach Bonnie starts subbing in some players, it's hard to tell. In turf, because everybody's clean. Everybody's always clean. You could only tell when it's grass because you can tell the clean players when they come in. But
well, we're going to see a new quarterback first of all.
Who we got?
That's
Hudson Fields.
That's going to be Hudson Fields, the freshman in there. Yep.
Wow.
Give it away on first down.
Off to another
and
the outside.
Nice run there by Julian Cutter.
Yeah, it is. A little freshman to sophomore connection right there. Good looking little play.
And do we have a flag down? We got a whistle. Let's see or an injured player perhaps. Let's see.
Look, I'm going to give it up to these offensive linemen too.
Yeah, there's a Madison Prep player down at the 40-yard line. You're right.
He's cramping up too.
Blended in with the bench there. We couldn't see it, but nice run that time for Cutter. Gain of 8.
Yeah, Reese Rabb, Madden Diaz, Caleb Smith, Jackson Decree, John Brigham. Those guys, those workhorses. Those are juniors and seniors up front.
Vlasic, Parmar. Those guys are rotating. You got 3 return. That is probably the most experienced spot on this team. You got 3 returning offensive linemen starters from a year ago, in Dupree, Smith, and Parmar.
And this is where we're going to see them in focus because they could take over this game in 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Give it away once again, and a nice run that time for a first down. And Cutter once again will pick up 8.
Yeah, you're starting to see it now. That inside zone's really taking effect. Offensive linemen that we just named, they're starting to get to those linebackers. And we saw the holes. That's the biggest hole I've seen tonight, Lenny. It opened up. Good job by Cutter to hit the hole and extend the drive, get a first down.
Yeah, one of the things that Mark Bonis has always liked to do is he likes to be able to play his guys at multiple positions. Now we get to look at Donnie Lawrence at quarterback. So the third quarterback we're seeing tonight, he kept that one. He pulled it back in and run.
That was quarterback counter.
Right.
So he faked left like it was outside zone, and the left guard pulled, and he followed the left guard in. That's a new little twist on that. So I don't know if Lawrence is his running quarterback, but that's a good design play.
Got a couple on first down. It's 2nd and 8.
Trips right. Little motion.
Went back to the went
So
back to the
Hudson
other quarterback
Fields,
there.
came
now,
back in.
Right now you got
trying to see who the running back is. Was it a fumble? Looked like he put the ball on the turf. I know he went down hard. I didn't realize he fumbled the ball.
Yeah, he did.
It looked like
Madison Prep will take over at the 45-yard line. Is LaFrance. That was his first carry of the night.
Yeah, it looked like he went down. That second hit knocked the ball out, but yeah, it's really hard to tell. He was in between the tackles, but he went down hard. I didn't see the ball come out though, but yeah, that's one blemish tonight so far, Lenny's definitely the turnovers, man.
And you know, I'll visit with Mark Bonise after the game. We'll have full coverage, of course, at CrescentCitySports.com after the game. But I think a coach in a perfect world would tell you, I want to win and I want to be able to have teachable moments coming out of this game. And he's going to have very possibly both of those.
Yeah. And look, he's the type of coach too. And look, I coached with Jay Roth. I was coached by Al Pontiff. Sometimes you couldn't tell the difference the next day after a game if we won or lost, because they were just as hard on you on those wins as you were on the losses, you know, and that's what good coaches do. You know, you remember the bad plays sometimes more than the good plays. But yeah, that's something, you know, hey, game one, chalk it up. Let's not do it again. Play action. Ooh.
Very nearly intercepted right there.
That outside
that was Jeremy Turner, who had stepped in front of that one, and had he been able to bring it in, it was going to be
in the end
6.
zone right now. Absolutely. I think he looked at the pylons before he caught the ball, because there was nobody in front of him. He had a good jump on the ball. It was a good job getting to the outside, taking away that quick slant.
So 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Baltimore's playing base 3-4 cover 3 defense right here. They're playing tough. They want to take away the run.
Ball at the 49. Johnson waits, looks, fires, pass.
Oh, got him.
Oh, it's incomplete.
Oh, he had it.
Had it in his hands. He couldn't bring it in. It was like almost like a back shoulder throw. It was just
it really was. The safety, Goodman overran it. Burris overran it, and the receiver came back. He just couldn't pull it in.
Right. Gibson was the intended receiver, and it was one of those plays that just you underthrow somebody open sometimes. It happens.
It happens.
You know,
when you're a defensive back running full speed to get to the receiver, you can't hit your brakes fast enough. But luckily for Brother Martin, the wide receiver didn't come down with the ball.
So 4th and 4, ball at the 49 of Brother Martin. Johnson handles the low snap, rolls, pass is incomplete. It was too high. Too high. Intended for Keon Robinson, and Brother Martin's on take over on downs.
Let me ask you this question. The Chargers didn't huddle. A receiver came off the field, another one came on the field. That's legal?
I guess I saw it, but it would seem like they weren't necessarily lined up with 12. That was the thing. They didn't, because they didn't huddle with 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's, you know.
Right. I know that's for me. It's a gray area. I always kind of when they say illegal illegal huddling, it's like at what point is that okay and when it's not okay?
One of our officiating experts, who I'm sure is watching tonight, whether it's Paul Mayoral or Benny Jones or one of those guys, is going to let me know. I'm going to get a text or an email saying, "Hey, no, that's okay or that's not okay or whatever." Yeah. It happens. So it's. You know, I gotta.
Or you got to get the defense allowed to substitute their guys in and out.
And you got it's, you know, it's a Thursday night, so everybody's not working tonight. Probably do have some guys tuned in out there.
Correct.
On first down, going
West
back
is
to
still
West.
in the game.
Yeah,
Good
West
job
is
on the
back in there.
side, yeah.
And with Fields operating at quarterbacks, that's a good thing that I like to see. Get some of your backups in there a chance to be able to work with some of your starters, because you never know when it's going to happen.
No doubt.
You know, if something were to happen, you know, to a Seth Dizette, now all of a sudden, you know, Hudson Fields has got to operate with those guys.
We're not going to have cool weather next week either. You know, so I mean, we saying how it's the first game of the season. It's always hot first game of the season. Well, the second, third game of the season is going to be pretty much in 90, 95 degrees too. So these kids, they're going to have to get reps, you know, no matter what the score is.
Second
West
and
to
3,
left.
it's West again.
Keep
He
going,
stayed on
keep
his
going,
feet.
keep going.
He never went down. He
tell you what.
stiff-armed there and stiff-armed the ground and maintained his balance.
They're starting to run outside zone a little bit more now, too, to try to get to the edge. And West, I've seen him do it 2 or 3 times last year. He's such a low center of gravity runner that, yeah, his legs keep going. And people think he's on the ground. He's not. He's just churning away. So now we have Cutter back in there at running back. Fields is still at quarterback. Look like his starting offensive linemen are still in right now.
Like I said, you rotate guys through, so it's hard to say. They're going to use 7 different offensive linemen, and they're going to play them in different positions as well.
His Cutter, nice runner.
Yeah, very nice looking
I tell you,
run
different
right there.
style runner Cutter is. It looked like he's more of a straight runner. He's not really side to side, but man, when he hits that hole, he's hitting it at full speed. He accelerates very well through the hole. Got really good vision.
And what we're seeing a lot of right now, outside of those couple of plays at West, we're seeing a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there. It tells you, some encouraging things about the future.
Yeah. I'm looking at Nico Paulin right now, the tight end that's coming in, getting some good quality reps, junior.
And again, you're talking about there's 5 tight ends we thought could see action here tonight.
And probably
but I mean,
4
that's
of them
always
have.
four of them have, and balls are pulling. Maybe they all have at some point here. We don't sit here and chart players on every play. There's a nice run up the middle. It's still on his feet. 20, 15, 10, 5, and brought down at the 3-yard line is Julian Cutter. What a terrific run right there. Has made a couple of men miss. The minute you thought he was stopped, they're going to put him down at the 4-yard line, a gain of 30, and we'll get to the hydration break on that.
You were talking about Paulin and Balls are your tight ends. They put that tight end, Bonice put that tight end in motion to the left and really had a good kick out on the end, and Cutter did a good job of cutting right off that block up the left-hand side and getting some really good yards. That's a promising running back that Coach Bonice found tonight.
Yeah. Well, we're at the hydration break, so that allows us to remind you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more, all done quickly while you enjoy some popcorn. Must be a reason. Popcorn's pretty good, I will tell you that.
And I was smelling it down there at the concession stands. I almost got it, but I need floss after popcorn.
We will resume here with Brother Martin playing a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line at the 6-minute mark.
Looks like Fields is still in at quarterback. Cutter's at running back.
They're going to line up in the pistol this time with 4 tight ends in there.
And they're bunched in.
Two traditional tight ends, a couple of H-backs.
Good move.
Cutter makes
Good
one man
spin.
miss, stays on his feet, and we'll get to about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, good job by Cutter. They had a defender from the Chargers that really came up and could have thrown it for a loss for 4 yards. Cutter did a nice little spin move, sidestepped them, and got some positive yards for the Crusaders. It almost looks like it's down to the 4-yard line, 3-yard line.
It was at the 4 now, make it the 3,
Yep.
so gain of 1, 2nd and goal. And, of course, Brother Martin will use as much as they can of the play clock here. Clock is your friend. Under 5.5 minutes to play.
Single wide receiver to the right.
Cutter made one man miss, couldn't make the second one miss, and actually fell forward. It got to about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this is tough. They're not blocking the outside ends, and they're just coming in and kind of just giving up their bodies to try to make a hit on Cutter. Cutter's doing a good job of sidestepping that outside rush to just get back to the line of scrimmage. But, again, this is what we're talking about. You're in shotgun, and you're in a tight formation, and everybody knows you're coming up. I think you're at a disadvantage being in shotgun right here. But
look, Torrey Lambert's not walking back through the door either.
No.
You've got to get
and this
reps
is your
here.
offense.
You've got to get reps in a goal line in a short yardage situation with these guys in there,
right,
where you relied primarily on Lambert a year ago.
Yeah, as they run to the right outside zone. But again, you're running clock right here too. So you're like you said, you're not just playing, the defense. You're playing the clock.
Right. Milking that clock down as it will tick under 4 minutes before we see another play here. Now let's see what Mark Bonise does here on 4th and goal at the 40. You send the field goal unit out. Do you run this all the way down?
Nah, he's definitely going to run the ball. I don't think he has any intention of running up the score. But yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't give those guys another chance. Get the offensive lineman, get a little push.
Pass is incomplete. Could not bring it in there. I believe that was.
Was that Balzer?
I believe that was 82 Balzer. Could not haul it in.
Yeah, a little bootleg. See a bootleg tight end release on the right-hand side. I know Gizette's given that freshman quarterback a little chewing in his ears, saying, that's all you freshmen. You got to make that play.
Well, but at the same time, it's good to be able to be in this situation to get live game experience for some of those younger kids.
Yeah, and what's great is that, Fields, they might have a JV game Saturday that he might be in and, and run that same play, and now that he's seen it tonight, make it that much better. So now we're seeing some new blood on defense.
Right, now the ball at the 5-yard line coming back for Madison Prep. Pass, fake, running it up the middle to about the 9-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if that was hitch and go. It looked like the wide receiver and Johnson, the quarterback, were on 2 different pages there. It looked like he wanted to throw to number 6, the wide receiver, a little sooner. He just couldn't get him the ball. Or was that Danzler? That was number 5, Danzler. But, Brother Martin got a nice little push to the defensive lineman to get in and kind of cut those passing lanes off.
So a gain of 3, 2nd down, and make it 6. Check that, a gain of 4.
Keep it in front. There you go.
And after a gain of 2, it'll be 3rd down and 4. They got an injured Madison Prep offensive lineman now.
Yeah,
it's like
we're cramping up
it's
right
Malachi
here. He's going to try to pop up, but
it's going to.
Will he have to come off for a play?
They have the trainer didn't come out, but.
Ain't gonna let him in?
Well, they'll leave him in. They're taking a couple of other offensive linemen out right now.
You're going back to spread.
3rd down and 4. You got 2 receivers to either side. Trying to get to right at the 15-yard line.
They're telling him to go longer.
Let it fly.
Go deep.
Got a man and just overshot him.
Well, that's what I don't blame Johnson. They're biting on the hitch defense, and he's like, shoot, keep going, run past them. Brother Martin, they gotta. I know everybody wants to get an interception, but man, you gotta not forget your responsibility. Safeties, you gotta stay back. Nothing can drive a defense coordinator more than. We always said that the defensive lineman, you miss a tackle, you got the linebackers. Linebackers miss a tackle, you had the safeties. But you don't do your job as defensive backs, you got nobody. They scoring.
Yep. 4th and 4, and Madison Prep's going to go for it, even at their own 11-yard line, with just 2:20 to play. Need to get it to the 15. Johnson looking,
It's
moving,
ball
looking.
at this point.
Lets it fly, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds here. Yeah, they kind of. Johnson is giving himself some time, buying himself some time. Wide receivers are doing what they can, but a little bit too little, too late.
Intended for Robinson. Now Brother Martin's going to take over once again in the red zone. I don't think there's quite enough to kneel this out right here. Let's see what happens. 2:11 to play. You got to run a little bit. You got to run a little bit of time here. Assuming you get 40 seconds between each play. That's 2 minutes right there. So you got to be able to do something in between. If you start doing the math, all these coaches have somebody upstairs doing the math. Tell you, okay, we can't run it out. We can run it out.
Right.
Whatever the case may be.
If the clock stops now, then you have X amount of time.
This may be. Another quarterback in the game.
Is that Fields? No, that's number 8.
That's 8. That's actually Silas McLeish, the senior.
Wow, okay. Good.
That was Cutter on the carry to about the 7-yard line.
So this is what you want at the end of the game, senior. Line
Give him
everybody
an
up,
opportunity.
make sure
You got
everybody's
four,
right.
Yeah,
Get
you've
the
used,
snap.
And look, you've used 4 quarterbacks, and now they realize they've done enough here. They can run this thing out. A little slow, probably. And there, now you're in victory formation, the best formation in football,
Absolutely,
right?
no doubt. The refs are giving them time.
Make sure, yep. Snap it. About 2 seconds on the play clock. You can see the game clock will now tick under a minute. And they just need to do this one more time. Let it get under 40 seconds and do it one more time.
Yeah, you know, Brother Martin showed a lot. They had Coach Moniz got to see a lot of players on offense and defense, which is promising. Special teams looked really good, which is you don't see very much in the first game of the season. So a lot to build off of, you know.
Well, and again, a year ago, Brother Martin won the open over Madison Prep 17-0. So for the second year in a row, Brother Martin is going to open with a shutout over this team. Now, look, Madison Prep is a very good Class 3A program, but
talent.
But maybe not the numbers. And on a night like this, maybe they did wear down a little bit. You know, and the final kneel down, and that's going to do it. We'll have some handshakes coming at the center of the field, as that will be the final play of this one. And Brother Martin looking to do once again what it did a year ago and finish up in December in a state championship game. This is the way you want to start it. You did things in all the phases tonight. Did some nice things on offense, nice things on defense, special teams all the way around. I think, while again there are certainly correctable moments from this, Mark Bonice has to be pleased all along with the effort tonight.
Yeah, and especially, you know, you have a team that's returning from a state championship game, and you had a young quarterback that saw some time, but you know, you had an established offensive line, but you know, you had some question marks. You know, West, will he be enough to carry an offense at running back? And Harris had some good carries for you. You know, Brody did an excellent job at wide receiver. So, I mean, you have some parts there that, you know, you might have looked at all in the offseason and been like, okay, we might be able to, you know, engage this way or put this game plan in. But now when you see it in effect, you know, that, yeah, Coach Bonice has to be very happy with the defense. Had an unbelievable job getting turnovers. Special teams is really, you know, I don't talk enough about special teams, but usually, unless it's a bad play,
yeah.
But, you know, they're Brother Martin special teams, I mean, really, you know, right from the get-go, getting that turnover, you know, that set Brother Martin on pace to take the lead, and they never relinquished it after that. So, yeah, good all-around win by the Crusaders tonight.
No doubt about it. Chad, it's been a pleasure having you here
you,
in the booth.
Awesome.
And our thanks to you, Chad. Our thanks to Chip Merritt and Matt Merritt
Chip.
for getting us through number one of what will be many live streams here on Crescent City Sports. A reminder that coming up tomorrow night on Crescent City Sports, it's more high school football as an old St. Bernard Parish rivalry renews when the Archbishop Hannon Hawks travel to face the Chalmette Owls. Ken Berthelot and Wade Kaiser have the call. Our coverage begins
back in the parish
just before the 7 p.m. kickoff tomorrow night on Crescent City Sports. So once again, for Chad LaRose and our entire Crescent City Sports production team, I'm Lenny Van Gilder saying good night from Tad Gormley. Once again, your final score, Brother Martin 28, Madison Prep nothing. Until next time, so long, everybody.